It's the Orioles on Massett as the O's home to take on Tampa Bay in Game 2 after living a tough one last night. Final score 3-1. The Orioles offense will try and get going on a beautiful summer night here at Camden Yards. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne for the Orioles. They continue to be very much in the chase, looking for that wild card spot that everybody's going to be talking about for the rest of the season. But so are a lot of other teams. So you've got to put everything together if you're going to make it. And for the Orioles right now, that has been the problem. It's Dick and X, if you will, as it goes good and bad. Trouble is, it's all at the same time. Take a look at the numbers for the Orioles in the last 7 ball games. For the pitching, 5-2 and a great ERA, 7 straight quality starts. The saves are there. Opponent batting average is down. But the offense only .220, tied for 12th in the American League during that stretch. And the runner in scoring position number is not good. And the strikeouts, they are piling up 60 in 232 at-bats during that stretch. So the question is, how do you get 1 and 2 together to come out to 3?
Well, we figured out one, and that's pitching. I mean, pitching is going to keep you in ball games. We've seen that in years past. We saw it earlier in the year. The bullpen's been terrific all year long, even though they struggled a little bit lately because the starters aren't doing what they've done in the last 7 games. So I thought Adam Jones, who now is our great philosopher, all-star center fielder, he said, listen, we're at least putting ourselves in positions where if we do get the big hit, and that's about your pitching because the starters have been real good, but getting the big hit, and it's not going to get any easier tonight. Hellick, you're getting the big 3. He named Shield and Price, and we saw Hellickson's last year, Rookie of the Year, pitch a great game last night. So they just have to some way figure it out, and if they don't, it's going to be a struggle. But you like where they are because of the starters, and Gonzalez has pitched very well in limited starts.
For the Orioles also, you got to get together at home. Right now they are playing .500 baseball here at Camden Yards, and that simply is not going to be good enough. The numbers here at Camden Yards of late not good. Over the last 10 games, they've only won 2. The batting average down to .209 in those games. Runner in scoring position number way down. The runs down just 3.3. You got to get to 4 generally to give yourself a chance to win. The earned run average is up, and the starter ERA here at home 7.99 in the last 10 games with a couple of blown saves. That is not going to get it done in your own home yard.
No, it isn't. But again, we've seen Tillman pitch well. We've seen Gonzalez pitch well. We've seen Britton pitch well. So the starters are going to give him a chance to win, and that's what you have to do. Buck Showalter said tonight very simply, Miguel Gonzalez has to pitch well to give us a chance to beat David Price, who's really been on a roll.
All right, Orioles take the field. We're getting set to go in Game 2 of this 3-game set. The Orioles looking to give themselves a chance at a series win. The victory by Tampa Bay tonight, and the two will be tied for second. lesson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. And by Jeep. Jeep and the unique brand of freedom you'll find only in the full line of Jeep vehicles. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. Glorious summer evening here at Camden Yards. Let's take a look at our train game time temperature as we come into this ball game. And a little cooler, actually, than was anticipated for tonight. And beautiful blue skies here at sunset time. Visit train.com for an independent train comfort specialist dealer near you. It's hard to stop a train. And the starting lineup brought to you by Dodge. For the Rays tonight, Jennings, Upton, and Zobrist. Joyce, Keppinger, Pena, Roberts, Lobaton, and Elliott Johnson starting. B.J. Upton's career numbers against the Orioles. See your authorized Dodge dealer and experience a world of performance, design, and fuel efficiency. Schedule a test drive or go to Dodge.com and check out their powerful lineup.
Take a look at our scouting report for Miguel Gonzalez. Well, you better be good because you are pitching against David Price, who's trying to get the ML lead in wins with 14. He does trust his fastball. He'll use it both sides of the plate, very much like a right-handed Wei-Yin Chen, who pitched last night for the Orioles. And then how do you win? This will be his 4th major league start. He's 2-1. And they get him some runs. They get him over 5 runs a game, 5.23. And I don't know if he's going to get that tonight. But if you pitch well and you stay in there for 6-7 innings, you never know what may happen.
And we are ready to go in game 2 as Gonzalez delivers. Ball put up in the air to left field off the bat of Jennings near the wall. And goodbye home run. The first pitch of the ball game. And Desmond Jennings delivers home run number 7. And Tampa Bay's got a 1-0 lead.
Well, he's given up home runs in his last 2 starts in the first inning twice. Now make it 3. Fastball right down the chute. So again, he's much better when he's out of the middle of the plate. Who is it? And Jennings, who was hitting very comfortably and hitting well in the number 7 spot, 2nd straight start, leads it off with a dinger.
So Jennings, that didn't take long, and followed that up with a bunt attempt by Upton. So the Rays use the long ball to kick it off here. Home run number 5 surrendered. 3 have been hit by the right-handers, 2 by left-handers this season. Off Gonzalez, even before his numbers got posted. There's 1 out of the yard. The pitch will be taken down low for a ball. There you see the home runs allowed. Upton had an 0 for 4 in the ball game last night, hitting at .244 on the year. And the breaking ball will catch the inside corner in a hard pitch, and it goes to 1-2. Well, for Buck Showalter, hardly time to take a look out at the field before that one got launched into the stands in left field. Upton will take the pitch away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, a mighty happy Desmond Jennings, whose manager was just talking about him moving back into the leadoff spot, intending to leave him there. That's a high chopper to third. This is going to be a very tough play. Bettamy can't handle it. That'll probably be a base hit. We'll see.
Yeah, that's the only way he can play it because of Upton's speed. And certainly not an easy play. Then again, if you don't catch it, there's no chance. You can see a good little slider. It's going to come in, and the short hop unable to handle it. I can't be very surprised if they don't score the base hit because, again, the speed factor. Either way, it puts speed at first base. And, you know, the Rays last night didn't get much, but they made it. They manufactured some runs. They got the 2-run shot by Brooks Conrad, and that was enough to win.
And now they have a runner on at first base with big time speed, and here's Zobrist at the plate. Switch hitter at an 0 for 2 in the ball game last night. And Upton, always the possibility that he will take off here. Teagarden, working behind the plate, has had only 1 chance to throw down since coming to the Orioles. Upton 16 stolen bases in 21 chances, and the pitch will miss away. He might not want to run here in order to keep that hole open for Zobrist on that right side between first and second.
Yeah, that's a great point. A lot of times with back-to-back lefties, you won't run until at least you get 1 out. But then again, if you're Joe Madden, you know you have the capability of a stolen base over at first.
That's going to catch the outside corner for a strike. Runners have different ways of getting their leads off first base. Upton has one you don't see very often. Upton will actually point that lead foot towards the bag. Most runners want to be balanced. You see, he turns almost like a runner in the dash, and the throw over will get him back to the bag. Obviously, just a matter of what feels right over there, what gives you your biggest jump.
Well, 44, 42, 42, 36. That's the last 4 years of stolen bases. So
had me worry what you were talking about there for a minute. Here's the delivery to Zobrist, and that will be fouled back over the screen. 1-2.
So part of his game is home runs, and used to be, in fact, the rookie year. I mean, there's no better young player in baseball than B.J. Upton. He's never been able to match it. 300, 24 home runs, 80 RBIs, bunch of stolen bases, real good center fielder, even though he was signed as an infielder. But he can run.
Zobrist fouling off a couple of good pitches by Gonzalez. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Not a big lead at first, then not going. And the pitch will miss. And Gonzalez takes the count to 2-2.
And you have a very disciplined hitter at the plate. And again, with Longoria out, I guess he's going to go on rehab tonight because he's had some good workouts here. Everybody's hitting in different spots in the order.
That's up high. I talked to Joe Madden just before the game about that, and he said indeed they've sent him out. He's going to go and start, and he said, I have no idea how long this is going to take. It probably is going to be 4 or 5 rehab games, we hope. But he said, I'm really leaving this up to Longoria. He'll tell me when he's ready to come back, and that's when he'll come back. But everything to this point has gone fine. Runner going, and the ball put up in the air, right field, right into that sun out there. Markakis coming in, and he will make the catch, and Zobrist is retired. Defense, defense, defense.
Yep. Well, last night again the Orioles would lose by 2, 3, and 1. Adam Jones, Chris Davis in left. So a lot of good plays, and it really, as you look at tonight's defense, a little bit different. Davis on the bench, Tolleson in left, Jones, Markakis, couple of Gold Gloves out there. Betamit, Hardy, Quintanilla at second base, Mark Reynolds still at first, and then Taylor Teagarden, a catch and throw guy. 1 for 11 this year, but it was a game-winning home run, and Matt Wieters will be the DH tonight.
And Matt Joyce will be batting in the cleanup spot in this game in the ever-changing lineup for this Rays team. Joyce had a 1 for 3 in the ball game last night, which kept his hit streak alive. He has hit successfully now in 5 consecutive ball games with that .333 average during the streak. Joyce has really had a good season against the Orioles, hitting .316 against the Orioles, going 6 for 19 with 1 double. Upton over at first. There's the throw over. The Orioles have the shift on, so the shortstop Hardy is covering the bag. You see how close he is to it since he's moved over to the second base side of second base. First start for Gonzalez. First appearance against the Rays. Got that one in up high and got him to go after it, and an 0-2 count. Here at home, Gonzalez started on the 15th of July against Detroit, 5 2/3 innings. Gave up 3 runs, 6 hits, 5 walks in his only appearance here as a starter. He has started 3 previous games as a starter. He's gone 2-1 with a 2.79 ERA. That ball ripped foul, and the count stays at 2 strikes.
Well, Matt Joyce, we talked about it, that he comes over from the Tigers, wasn't a complete player. Now he hits lefties pretty well. He's learned to be a better breaking ball hitter. He's always been able to hit the heater. And again, for Miguel Gonzalez, his changeup probably has the highest batting average. So again, you can already see he threw him a cutter. Does have a splitter that every once in a while will be very, very good. Let's see if he can hit that outside corner.
Runner not going. Ooh, all the way to the backstop on one that got away.
Yeah, it looked like, I mean, he's looking down at the mound. I don't know if he slipped, but again, you have your catcher sitting outside. That ball's 3.5 feet inside. Just looks like he over rotated, and boy, Matt Joyce very lucky not to get hit in the head because he just freezes.
That was about as close as you can get.
Well, again, you have to understand the dynamics. You don't see that well this time of day. You're looking with 2 strikes to cover the outside corner, and then a guy throws one right at your helmet. Boy, that really could have been an injurious pitch.
Second wild pitch of the season for Gonzalez. That'll put a runner in scoring position for the Rays with 1 out and a 1-2 count on Matt Joyce. And Joyce on the off-speed delivery is retired.
Now there's a split-fingered fastball, and that's his changeup. So one at the head, and then one that tumbles down and away. So take a look. We were talking again the changeup, and that's the splitter, the average, the highest. His fastball usually commands it well. Slider is another pitch he uses a lot. And you can see again with the curveball, doesn't throw it very often, but has a good one. A very high strike percentage.
That will bring up Keppinger with a 5-game hit streak himself. He's the designated hitter in the ball game. Had a 2 for 4 in the game last night. Again, both these teams struggling mightily with runners in scoring position. Tampa Bay hitting just .238. The Orioles just .232. They are last and next to last in that department in the American League. Keppinger will watch that one go down low. Keppinger actually has done pretty well with a .295 number with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, that number streaked up last night. He drove in the 3rd run. I mean, they played manufactured bunts and everything just to get the runner to 3rd with less than 2 outs, and he just lofted one down the right field line.
And that will miss inside to him. And a 2-ball, 1-strike count on Keppinger. Rays have jumped out on top. First pitch of the ball game hit by Jennings for his 7th home run of the year, and a 1-0 lead for the Rays. Now Keppinger trying to get another run with the speedy Upton out there at second base. Moving into the bag, Quintanilla, and Gonzalez will step off. Let Quintanilla move back into his position. Very little breeze to start the ball game tonight. In fact, really none at all. Just a gorgeous evening here with the flags up against the poles. And won't chase that slider away, and falls behind 3-1.
Well, he doesn't chase, period. Only Juan Pierre over the last 5-6 years has made less contact or more contact than Jeff Keppinger. So this is a contact hitter. Very rarely expands the zone.
3-1 delivery to him taken, and that's ball 4. So not a good start for Gonzalez. He surrenders the walk, a homer, a single, and a walk to the first 5 hitters who have come up in the ball game, and that is going to bring the pitching coach to the mound. Kadar on his way out to have a word and try and settle Gonzalez down. Gonzalez coming into the ball game had given up a couple of runs in the first inning. Not much history there to look at. Of course, it's only his 4th start and his 7th appearance. He has worked only 31 innings on the year.
Yeah, pretty unnerving when your first pitch is hit out of the ballpark. So I think the more experience, you say, well, that should have been, because it was right down the middle. Good fastball hitter in Jennings, and he didn't miss it. And I think now it's just, okay, you really don't know these hitters well. You can see all the film you want, but until a guy actually swings at your stuff, so as we mentioned, only his 4th major league start. And now he has a guy that he walks a lot, he strikes out a lot. His average is usually right where it is the last couple of years, but again with one swing, and look at those RBIs. And he's been able to do that hitting .139 with runners in scoring position. So you can tell you how important the home run is to Carlos Pena.
Pena came in as a defensive replacement last night. What a year for him. He's got the 4th lowest batting average this month, the 4th lowest batting average against lefties, the 5th lowest batting average against righties, the 4th lowest average at home, the 2nd lowest batting average on the road, and the 1st lowest batting average with runners in scoring position. And he's got 40 RBIs. They've got the big shift on against him, and he hits right into it. Oh, bad hop. Quintanilla had to go to Markakis. Runner coming to the plate will score. As Upton, of course, with 2 down, taking off, crosses the plate. Quintanilla out there in right field, had it run right up his arm. It's a 2-0 Rays lead.
Well, the ball's hit hard. We talked about the fact that, again, when you're going to play the shift, you try to get Nicole Sherry, the groundskeeper here, to maybe cut that lip down a little bit. But even if you do that, sometimes you're going to get bad hops, and that was one of them. I don't know if it's any routine ball with a shift on, because you're playing out of where you're the norm. But again, the bad hop gets Miguel Gonzalez and keeps his inning alive.
And it will be a single, and Pena picks up the RBI. Runners on at first and second, still with 2 down. And here is Ryan Roberts, just acquired by this team and making his first appearance. In fact, they waited on the lineup today to see if he was going to be ready to go. He's a 31-year-old infielder, acquired last night from Arizona for a minor league second baseman. He was hitting .250, 6 homers, 34 RBIs, 6 stolen bases in 83 games with the Arizona Diamondbacks. They had designated him for assignment, but you got 10 days if you want to try and trade somebody who's designated, and that's what happened in this case. And Ryan Roberts will give them some fill-in in the infield, particularly at third base, while Longoria is out.
And you can see right there, last 7 games, so he was hot. And he had a nice little year last year. 19 home runs for the Diamondbacks.
Roberts, the 0-2 delivery to him will be up high by Gonzalez, and a 1-ball 2-strike count. And what a tough inning for Miguel Gonzalez, starting out with a leadoff homer, and he's up to 27 pitches thrown here in the first.
Well, you got to figure out a way to get out of this inning. I mean, you're in a position to make a good pitch here, especially with a breaking ball.
Roberts takes it, and it hit him. So an inning of everything except something good. Second hit batter. Gonzalez has now given up a homer, hit a batter, thrown a wild pitch, and 2 runs in against him with a couple of singles and a walk and a strikeout, all in 1 inning.
Well, this is not the Miguel Gonzalez that we have seen either out of the bullpen or starting. Again, he's been able to command the ball, and we've seen him throw a ball and miss by 3 feet to Matt Joyce. That was a backup slider. Couldn't get on top of it.
The bases are loaded, and the catcher who had an 0 for 3 last night, Lobaton, up and will take the pitch for a strike on the outside corner. He is a switch hitting catcher. 308 right-handed, 161 batting left-handed.
I think it would be an understatement to say this is the guy you need to get out. And then he speeds up to bat with a hanging slider.
0-2 the count on him.
Really, his stuff not very sharp tonight.
30 pitches thrown already with the bases loaded. You see the 4 RBIs that he has picked up. The Rays have hit .338 with the bases loaded on the year. And that got him, and it's going to bring in a run. 2 hit batters in a row. Lobaton will get the RBI, and it is a 3-0 Rays lead.
Well, he's going to force Buck Showalter to get somebody up because, again, lack of command. I mean, you're 0-2, you get ahead, even though you did hang a slider to get to 0-2, and then he just misses. I mean, again, he misses by about 1.5 feet, and the ball just barely nicks the jersey of Jose Lobaton. But that's another run.
Well, Lobaton will get the RBI. What an inauspicious start as they have batted around with Elliott Johnson coming to the plate. Did not play in the ball game last night.
And then what happens, Gary, is that you get the guy that you needed to get out. You get ahead, you hit him, and then you get a guy that's hitting about 140 some points higher. Another switch hitter, but Johnson much better hitter from this side of the plate.
He's hitting .308 left-handed and .158 right-handed. He has divided the home runs up. He's got 4 of them, 2 from each side of the plate. So another bases loaded situation. 1 ball, 1 strike count, 2 down, 3 runs in on 3 hits. And the pitch will be taken away and falls behind 2 balls and 1 strike on Johnson. Keep in mind, this is a Rays team that, like the Orioles, struggling to pick up runs. They got 3 in the ball game last night. They've got 3 in the first inning here tonight. 2-1 delivery on the way, and that one is swung on and missed. Evens the count up at 2-2.
And again, that's kind of a desperation pitch. Just throw something other than a fastball, which you're not commanding, and it gets away with a kind of a spinning backup slider that Johnson swings through. 2 ball, 2 strike delivery on the way. Johnson's going to get a base hit into left field.
Pena's going to score. Roberts is coming. Here's the throw by Tollison. Not in time. Hit the runner going by. Runners are going to try and advance. They got a runner caught at first base. Throw back. The tag, and they got him. Johnson thought he could go to second, made the big turn, but the runner was waiting ahead of him. So as a result, Teagarden able to get the out there, but a big inning as the Rays jump on top 5-0. Five runs, 4 hits as they batted around. Let's take a look at the lineup for the Orioles, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Markakis, Hardy, and Jones, Wieters, Betemit, and Reynolds, Teagarden, Quintanilla, and Tollison. For Hardy, his career numbers almost a 300 average against the Rays.
And our scouting report on David Price. Well, former #1 draft choice out of Vanderbilt. He is a true #1 pitcher. 7-1 against CC, Roy Halladay, Cliff Lee. He can beat anybody. And again, let's see, Gonzalez, Gio Gonzalez. You got R.A. Dickey and David Price with all 13 wins and then streaking. He has now pitched his last 5 starts. He's won them all. He has pitched 7 or more innings with 2 earned runs or less in all those starts. There are the numbers. They get him a lot of runs. He pitches well. You can see right there, strikes out a lot of people, does not give up a lot of hits, and has only thrown 11 home runs in his starts.
Orioles faced him on June 1. He gave up no runs, 4 hits, and 7 1/3 innings, getting the victory in that ball game against the Orioles. So he is 1-0 this year and 5-2 lifetime against the Orioles, who have a mountain to climb before they ever get to the plate. Here is Nick Markakis. Nick's got a 4-game hit streak and will take the pitch outside for a ball. This Orioles lineup, the 9 players who are in the lineup as a group, are hitting .243 against Price, which is a pretty good number. Opponents this year hitting .230 overall, the 8th best in the league, and Markakis is going to start it out with a base hit to left.
Well, Gary, I've always said that when you go on the road, you don't come out of the bullpen until the bottom of the first inning. And when David Price comes in, he's been sitting, and that's 5 runs. He's probably been sitting for 20 minutes. And you're hoping that at least you can get it back in this game in the first inning, because maybe he's not going to be sharp as if he was able to be out in the bullpen, throw into the top of the first inning, and all of a sudden be really fresh to start, because he didn't anticipate 5 runs in the first inning.
And the Orioles will try and at least get 1 or 2 back here. Here's Hardy, had an 0 for 3 in the ballgame last night, ending a 6-game hit streak. He is 4 for 18 lifetime off Price. And the fastball is in there for a strike. The Orioles have handled lefties well, 14-10 on the year, the 3rd best win percentage against left-handers in the American League, hitting .260 against lefties overall and .233 the Orioles against right-handers. 0-1 count. Hardy in the dirt, and that's going to get away. Markakis will go down to second. Lobaton, is this going to be one of those games?
Well, I hope so, because that's the only way the Orioles are going to win. I mean, price is price. But again, right here, just a little slider. Not an easy play. It's going to be a wild pitch. Bounces out in front of the plate. So one of those 60-foot, 3-inch pitches.
That's the 5th wild pitch of the year, delivered by Price, putting Markakis down to second base. Now Hardy gets the opportunity. The Orioles 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position in the ball game last night. Continue a dreaded 34-game stretch where they've hit 150 with runners in scoring position. And a swinging strike, and it'll go to 1-2 on Hardy. Boy, the Orioles need one right here, at least to get one back. And Buck Showalter was talking about that stretch where they just cannot get the big hit and get runners in. And he said, you know, it's not enough to say the track record is good and the guys are going to get back to doing it. He said that doesn't get it done. You have to change your approach. He said stop getting yourself out. He said guys are swinging at pitches that are not strikes. They're helping pitchers get themselves out. They've got to adjust. And he wants to see some of that. Kind of made that pretty clear in the press conference this afternoon.
Yeah, well, you have to have a plan until you get to 2 strikes. And here's a perfect example. Now, everything's off the board here. I mean, you got to scuffle. And Price is about as good as anybody.
2-2 delivery down to first. That's going to be a base hit, and that'll get a run in. Markakis makes the turn. Joyce to get it, and the Orioles have one back before an out is recorded. It's a 5-1 game.
Well, that's a great approach, because even if he doesn't get a base hit and you don't play J.J. Hardy to hit down the right field line, he moves the runners over. And right there, just a good approach. He cut the swing down. Very rarely does J.J. hit the ball to right field. So they play percentage baseball. Markakis, who gets to second base on the wild pitch, makes it 5-1.
And Hardy will pick up his 38th RBI. And the Orioles with a run in, nobody out. And here's Adam Jones. Adam has a 3-game hit streak, extended it with a launch shot last night for his 23rd home run of the year. Throw over, Hardy back. He's not going anywhere. For Adam Jones this season, real good numbers against opponents in the East. 310 with 10 home runs. A very good number against, obviously, some very good teams and real tough pitching. Adam against David Price, 4 for 23. And he'll take that one to short. Taylor May, Johnson to Zobrist, 1 relay to first, and they'll turn the double play.
You know, the second most errors in the American League, the Rays defense with 76. Jennings, Upton, and Joyce. Pretty good outfield. Roberts comes over from the Diamondbacks. Johnson, Zobrist, Carlos Pena, pretty good first baseman. And then Lobaton, who caught last night. Well, Ryan Roberts. We saw Sam Fold. Of course, Joe Madden says we need to energize our team. And hopefully he will be able to do it.
And Hideki Matsui is gone. In order to make room on the roster for Roberts, the veteran Matsui has been designated for assignment. So they'll wait and see whether anybody's interested. They've got 10 days to trade, release, or outright him to the minor leagues if he clears waivers. And Matsui just didn't get it done here. And there's no time now to wait. Fouled away by Wieters. And the count goes to a ball and a strike.
Yeah, they brought him on when Jennings had hurt his knee and was out for almost a month sliding at home plate. Luke Scott was cold. He was coming off an injury. And kind of took a chance, Matsui, last year playing for Oakland.
Matsui played in 34 games, hit 147, couple of home runs, and 7 RBIs. So it'll be interesting to see whether anybody is willing to take a flyer on Hideki Matsui. 1 ball, 2 strike count to Wieters. Bases empty, 2 down. Matt, of course, continues to hit lefties at a torrid clip, 354. Third best number in the American League against left-handers, and he's hit Price well, 7 for 21, but not this time. There's the first strikeout recorded. The Orioles get a run in. Hardy's RBI getting him on the board, and after 1, it's a 5-1 game. By Luna. Call for the Luna double and get your second room of flooring free. 877-241 Luna. Gorgeous night in the Inner Harbor. Rays up 5-1 here at Camden Yards.
Yeah, not a good omen when the guy that led off the game with a home run is leading off the second inning.
Jennings goes after the very first pitch again. So he's seen 2 pitches. He's had a home run and he's grounded out 1 away here in the second inning.
So there are some really glowing numbers. It's almost like he had an out of body experience, and we've never seen Miguel Gonzalez pitch the way he did in the first inning. I don't mean the home run, that happens. I did it on occasion. The leadoff home run, but again, just the lack of command of pretty much all his pitches. Hit a couple of guys, and we might see a totally different guy here. And the Orioles, maybe, if that happens, can. Because you know what your charge is, and that is to somehow get into the middle innings and don't give any more runs. You gave up 5 more than you wanted to in the first place.
It'll break a streak the Orioles had of not allowing more than 3 runs. That had gone on for 7 straight games. First time they'd done that since 2001, but that goes by the boards in the first inning.
Well, you can see right there that was just a backup slider, so he's just having trouble staying on top of the ball tonight for whatever the reason is.
Upton puts that one up in the air to left field. Tollison making his 6th start in left, puts it away. Upton is retired, and there are 2 down. Our Maryland Lottery Strike It Rich contestant of the game, Ronald Crane from Salisbury. Ronald, you won $500 for being selected. You get $100 more for every strikeout recorded by an Orioles pitcher. See how you can turn non-winning Strike It Rich scratch offs into cash and enter to win great Oriole prizes. MDLottery.com/StrikeItRich. Here is Zobrist. He flied out to right field. His first time up. And Zobrist will take the pitch away for a ball.
And we'll see as this game progresses how big a play it after Elliott Johnson single to left getting thrown out to end the inning, because it could have been a lot more than 5.
And it could have been the end for Gonzalez, and they might have gotten to the bullpen in the first inning of the ball game.
But you also see when you have to play an infielder in the outfield, which is Steve Tollison, that they're going to run on him, as we saw him do with Xavier Avery. So they really do miss Reimold, obviously, just as the Rays miss Longoria because of Nolan's ability to hit home runs and pretty good throwing arm.
Rick Showalter now hoping the offense can get going in this game, because they have to if they're going to get back into it, trailing 5-1. Zobrist with the 2-1 delivery on the way, and that's in there. Zobrist hitting .273 against the Orioles on the season, with a home run and 3 RBIs. Coming into this ball game, Tampa Bay had hit just 6 home runs against the Orioles compared to 10 by the O's against them. But it's the homer by Jennings so far in the ball game, long ball wise, on the board for Tampa Bay. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Zobrist on the off-speed pitch, waves at it. And Gonzalez will get the strikeout. That'll be his second. Retires the side in order after a 5-run, 4-hit first inning. Game we're talking about the Orioles offense. You take a look at where they are versus the American League average.
Yeah, well, they're striking out too much. They're certainly not hitting with runners in scoring position as much as they would like. Early on, they were around that 260 number. But again, and they were a pretty good offensive ball club in April and May, and those are the 2 months where they were over 500. So, and then you can see the strikeouts, but I don't think, to me, that's no mystery. Yeah, when you have Chris Davis, who throughout his major league career, and that's what, over 3 years, and you have Mark Reynolds, those are strikeout guys. It's not like they're going to change their skins just because you want them to.
You just hope the home runs and the RBIs will outbalance, if you will.
Now, I certainly think that just the luck of the draw, so to speak, is going to allow them to hit better with runners in scoring position because they've been that bad. And we saw that in 2010 where they went into August hitting 217, which is an extraordinary low number. The year before they'd hit 284.
Wilson Betemit, and he'll go after the first pitch just like he promised. I talked with him at the cage before the game. All right, I said, tell me your approach to David Price. First ball, fastball. So that's what you're going to see most of the time. He said if it's not there, just tip your cap, wait for the second one. But I'm sitting dead red on that first pitch, and I want to go after it because it's probably the best pitch I'm going to see to hit.
Well, he's also going to throw. His average fastball is a little bit under 95. He can also ratchet it up to 97, 98. He can pitch in with the best of the lefties. And that game that you talked about down in Tampa when he beat the Orioles, he had a big strike zone in.
And there's a curveball. Floated that one and got him.
Well, you got to understand, and Buck Showalter talked about this because Wilson's only hitting 167 from this side. He said he would rather not be playing him because he's really had a good number. There are the numbers. And again, that fastball right up there with one of the best in the league. They don't hit that very much. The changeup doesn't throw it very often. But again, that's the highest average. Everything else down where you want it to be.
So Price, who is 6th in the league in strikeouts, has 2 in the ball game and 122 strikeouts in 127 innings pitched. And the breaking ball is going to miss. Reynolds up 0 for 3 in the ball game last night. Mark has gone 2 for 17 against Price, and both of his hits off the left-hander have been home runs. Reynolds has done a good job on the lefties this year, hitting 281, 101 points higher than he does against right-handers.
Yeah, a big difference. More power because he has more at bats. Well, you hope that he runs into one.
That one will be fouled off the other way.
But it's hard to, a little harder to run into one when it's 97 with movement. And it's not like David. I mean, David Price is a very athletic guy. He's 6'6", so there's a lot of movement, a lot of leverage. And again, the fact that he can pitch in as well as he can, that's not real comfortable. He's a little shorter version than Randy Johnson. And there's his pitching coach, Jim Hickey.
Price makes a pitching coach very, very excellent. Here's the 2-1 delivery to Reynolds, and a breaking ball up the middle for a base hit. He had waited on that one, and he's on with a 1-out single. Orioles pick up hit number 3 in the ball game. Birdland Tradition coming back on Friday. The first 20,000 fans 21 and over get the Orioles Maryland flag floppy hat presented by Miller Lite. That is going to be coming up on Friday, and there's going to be a great fireworks display after the ball game. 888-848-BIRD, Orioles.com for tickets. Taylor Teagarden, couple of hits and 3 at bats off Price. He gets the starting duties. Behind the plate is 4th start for the Orioles, and Wieters moves into the DH role, hitting in the cleanup spot. Teagarden on a little check swing roller. Price let it go by him, flips it. Well, that's a weird angle to go after it, but he gets the out. Reynolds goes down to second base.
Well, his athleticism allows him to do it. He runs right by it. He thinks that maybe Pena, he looks, because a lot of times, you work on it in spring training. You say, well, I got it, you take it. Well, sometimes you don't know if I have it or I got it. I think that was one of those times, and then he realized, well, he's not getting it, so I better get it, and he made the play look pretty easy.
Well, here's a chance to chip away again. There are 2 down, but the Orioles have a runner at second base. Quintanilla coming up, and 0 for 3 in the ball game last night, getting the start again at second base. He's faced Price only a couple of times, and he has gone 0 for 2. And he too has to make a start against the left-hander. Buck Showalter, with the current roster, really limited as to what he can do with the right-handed bats against the left-handed pitcher.
Yeah, if you had not sent out Steve Pearce, Pearce would be in left and Tollefson would be at second base. But then again, you don't have, when you run into the right-handed starters, you have a little bit of a problem. Who's going to play shortstop?
Yep. 0-2 the count. Search goes on with the days dwindling down to the trade non-waiver trade deadline here at the end of the month. 0-2 count, 2 away. No question the Orioles are still looking, making calls. Quintanilla with an 0-2 count on him. Reynolds off second base. Price fastball will miss just away.
And it's an easy 98.
He already has one more win than he had last year. He went 12-13 with an ERA of 3.49. He's 13-4 this year, and his ERA has dumped almost a run a game. 2.64, which is the 4th best ERA in the American League. And he's won his last 5 decisions. Here's the 1-2 delivery, and will miss a little low. And the count goes 2-2 on Quintanilla, who won't bite on the pitch out of the strike zone.
Well, he pitched well last year, Gary, as you know, and they got him a little bit under 4 runs a game. The year before, he won 19 games. They got him 6 runs a game. This year, they are at 5.21. So that's a lot of runs for a guy pitching that well.
20th start of the year, so we'll have a dozen more after this. 2-2 delivery, fastball got him. So Price records a strikeout. That's his 3rd. No runs, 1 hit, no error, and a base runner left on in scoring position. Rays lead it. Baseball en masse is brought to you by Chevy Cruze, offering the best highway mileage of any gas engine in America, and by the new summer barbecue menu at Burger King. Let's have a barbecue today. Perfect night for one, and I'm sure some of you out there are doing just that. Yankees won their ball game today against Seattle by a score of 5-2. They had been struggling for runs, but they get the victory and have won 5 of their last 10 on that long road trip that they are on. Pitch is taken down low as Matt Joyce leads it off.
And they lose Alex Rodriguez for at least 4 weeks. The broken, I believe, left hand. Felix Hernandez beat him last night. Hit 3 out of 5 batters, and A-Rod one of them.
Yep. So A-Rod is gone. Number of injuries that have piled up this season for everybody, including the Yankees, but they charge on with pretty good lead in the East. 7 games over the Orioles, 8 over Tampa Bay, 9.5 over Boston and Toronto. Off-speed pitch by Gonzalez is in there for a strike. Joyce was a strikeout victim his first time up. Gonzalez working in the 3rd with the Rays on top 5-1. 9 games on the road for the Rays. It'll be a big test for them. That's going to be a base hit. That was against the shift. And he put it right through the shortstop side where the Orioles had moved Hardy out of that position. Let's take a look at our East Winds notebook here tonight. Regarding the Yankees, they'd scored 4 runs or less in each of the 6 games on the road trip until today when they got 5. Jeter and the loss of A-Rod said, we lost Mo, we lost Andy Pettit, now we've lost Al. We'll see how good we are. It will be a challenge. And Jose Bautista, 15-day DL with a left wrist. Manager said today could be swinging a bat by week's end. Toronto hoping to get him back. And the pitch taken down low as Keppinger stands in.
Yeah, you go out west and you play the A's. I mean, the A's have won 15 out of 17. I saw on the scoreboard they're already up 4-0 in the second inning up in Toronto. They will be coming to Baltimore, but you go there and you go to Seattle. You know, those ballparks, pretty good pitching staffs, tough hitters parks.
Here's the 1-0 delivery on the way. One of the numbers I couldn't believe today, we were looking at percentage of runs by home runs because the Orioles are second to the Yankees. In the top 5 are the Oakland A's. You got to be kidding me. Playing in a ballpark that's as big as the Grand Canyon, and they are relying on the home run ball, and successfully so, as they have gotten themselves right back into the look at the postseason. Strike taken there. Coming into today's play, the wild card teams would be Oakland and the Angels if the season had ended. The Orioles are a game and a half out. Tampa Bay's 2.5, Cleveland 3.5, and Boston and Toronto are both 4 games out of a wild card spot. So you got 7 teams within a 4-game separation for the 2 wild card spots.
Yeah, Oakland right at 500 on the road, and again there are 6 games at least coming into tonight. Up in Toronto, over 500, all at home. So they play much better. We're in the big ballpark. Yep. A little money ball though. Yeah. On base percentage and hit some home runs and then pitch well.
2-1 delivery on the way. Scooped up. Teegarden, no play at first base as Joyce gets back. And Keppinger works the count to 3 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, you got to know your guys, and if you know Jeff Keppinger, they got him because he can play all over. He's a contact hitter. As we told you last night, his average now is at .458 against left-handed pitching, but he makes contact.
Keppinger's ahead here, 3-1. Runners going. 3-1 delivery, grounded down to third. Only plays at first. Bettamy takes a look. Joyce goes down to second base. Keppinger retired for the first out of the inning.
See, that's one of those plays where Joe Madden says, I have a contact hitter, I have a pitcher that needs to throw a strike, so I'll start the runner. Somebody's going to have to cover. You try to hold your position as long, otherwise that's a double play ball. But again, if you're Joe Madden, you have to know the players you have. And we saw last night that whole extra run they got, Gary, was predicated on the fact that he knew Keppinger would put the ball in play with a runner at third and less than 2 outs. And he didn't hit it hard. He just dumped it over the infield, and they get their 3rd run.
Yep. Here's Carlos Pena. Pena picked up the RBI base hit on a ball that skipped by the second baseman Quintanilla, who's again deep at second on the outfield grass as they have that shift on again. And the off-speed delivery is in for a strike. Then you get the RBI.
Well, take a look right here. And again, this is the strikeout. He always strikes out 160, 180. But again, as you get older and the bat slows down, you cheat a little bit to get to the fastball, and you become more susceptible. Most hitters, at least they do, to the breaking ball.
Pena with the 0-1 count, runner at second base. Gonzalez a fastball inside. Pena's done against the Orioles what he's done against the league. He has only 4 hits and 20 at bats, but out of those 4 hits, he's delivered 5 RBIs and no home runs.
Well, he got very lucky though, if you were watching the first inning, because that should have been an out. Just hit the lip and you got the bad hop, and it prolonged that inning.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Gonzalez a look back at second base, and the big cut again on the off-speed pitch, and it'll go to 1-2 on Pena.
Well, it's a curveball. Doesn't throw it very often. Back there, shortstop Elliot Johnson played with Miguel Gonzalez in the Mexican League. Said had probably had the best curveball in that winter league.
Took a look at our Nissan pitch track. Go to Nissan, biggest savings under the sun. Nissan summer saving days. Nissan.com or your local Nissan dealer. 1-2 delivery, and that'll be foul back. And the count will stay at 1-2.
Yeah, normally what we've seen Miguel Gonzalez when he gets into these 2-strike counts, and this is what he tried to do in the first, was to be able to pitch in off the plate. But as it turns out, he hits 2 batters when he gets 2 strikes on him, and then almost hits Matt Joyce in the helmet. Just exceptionally wild in that first inning.
27-year-old right-hander getting his 4th start for the Orioles. Fouled away as he stayed away, and it goes off the end of the bat, and the count stays at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Orioles really relying on a grouping of starters that no one would have guessed would be the 5 they would be relying on at this point in the season. The likes of Miguel Gonzalez has gone 2-1, pitched very well for them. The Orioles needing to get that if they're going to continue in the race. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Ground ball again to second base. Quintanilla. This one stays down for him. He gets the out. Joyce moves over to third base. And there are 2 away. Skip out of work tomorrow. Enjoy a special 12:35 afternoon matinee at the ballpark. It'll be the wrap-up of the series against the Rays. The first 10,000 fans 15 and over get the I Back the Birds t-shirt presented by Real Street Staffing. Hope you'll show your support and spend a nice summer afternoon at the ballpark. 888-848-BIRD or Orioles.com. Temperatures are not supposed to be as high as had been anticipated earlier in the week. Doesn't mean it's going to be cool, but maybe it's going to stay in the mid-90s rather than the 104, 105. That ball off the end of the bat to center. Jones going back. Roberts hit it hard at the wall. Goodbye, home run. In his first game in a Rays uniform, Ryan Roberts has been hit by a pitch and scored, and has delivered a 2-run homer, and it is 7-1 Rays.
Well, Joe Madden, the skipper of the Rays, saying he's going to energize us because he did hit 19 home runs. And again, this is, I mean, just outside middle, but watch the extension. And here at Camden Yards, great hitters ballpark. Ball just keeps going. And when it lands, the Orioles trailing by 6.
Welcome to the ball club.
Yeah.
Lobaton, the catcher, and that will be taken for a strike. 4 home runs surrendered in the previous 31 innings by Gonzalez coming into the ball game, and he's given up 2 in 3 innings in this game. And that will be foul back and an 0-2 count.
Yeah, tonight Gary just doesn't look like he has command of his secondary pitches, so he doesn't have a put-away pitch. I mean, he's thrown the 1 good splitter, and that was after he almost hit Matt Joyce in the helmet. Other than that, it's been a struggle.
64th pitch, and that will miss down low. And the count goes to 1-2. Hit by a pitch. Lobaton in his first time up, and he picked up an RBI on it because the bases were loaded. 1-2 delivery, and that one's going to be in the dirt on a follow through that took him over on the first base side. And a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Well, the Orioles starters who had been superb in the last 7 coming into this ball game. For Gonzalez, numbers way up here. And that's going to be a base hit down the line. Tolleson over to get it. Lobaton will make the turn. He'll stay on the throw in. And a single with 2 down, the 3rd hit of the inning.
And again, just trying to get something down in the zone, and the fastball was hit for a home run. That looked like a little splitter or maybe backdoor breaking ball, but it stayed up just enough for Jose Lobaton to put contact on it. And again, another good at bat. Matt Lindstrom had a chance to warm up last night, did not come into the game.
Lindstrom is ready to go. May have to go early. Breaking ball swung on a miss. Elliott Johnson, a 2 RBI base hit, and then he got caught making a big turn at first, but the runner ahead of him had stopped at second, and he was thrown out. 7-2-3 on a put out at first base that ended the first inning. Here's the 0-1 delivery, and that pitch is going to be away. So Elliott Johnson picking a couple of RBIs up, and that first at bat is now up to 27 on the year. This lineup has been juggled so much. You have all kinds of players in double digits in RBIs for the Rays. 1-1 delivery, foul the other way.
Yeah, one of their, in fact, the best hitter with runners in scoring position. And again, last year was Reed Brignac, who playing a lot of shortstop, but he did not hit well. And you can see those numbers over 400 against the Orioles here in 2012.
1-2 delivery, and that'll be taken inside. Johnson has only 5 hits in his last 29 at bats. That's since the All-Star break. But he got one of them here in this ball game in the first inning. Good for 2 RBIs. 71st pitch, and that's going to miss away. And time running out on this start for Miguel Gonzalez. 3 ball, 2 strike count with 2 down.
No, he is, to his credit, trying everything. It's just not working. Look at those pitch counts.
Play behind the runner at first base. 3-2, runner going. Fastball outside, he walked him. That'll be the second walk surrendered in the game. And again, this batting order is going to get turned over. Putting runners on at first and second with 2 away. And going to the bullpen phone is the skipper, Buck Showalter.
Yeah, I'm probably seeing if Matt Lindstrom is ready. And of course, Jennings hit the first pitch, a fastball in the middle of the plate for a solo home run.
2 on, 2 down. Jennings will take the pitch up high for a ball. Jennings 5-game hit streak now that's continued with that home run. He has also grounded out. A couple of other big runs out there. 7 runs, 7 hits on the board for the Rays. The Orioles 1-3. And the pitch is in there for a strike. For Jennings here in this ballpark, came in with only a 133 batting average, and that home run he got is his first home run here at Camden Yards and just his 3rd hit in 17 at bats. 1-1 delivery to him, and that caught him. Oh my. That'll be the 3rd hit batter, and the fans have had enough. That's going to load the bases again. 3 hit batters in the ball game. 2 were consecutive in the first inning. And now they're loaded, and Upton coming up.
Well, one of my keys to the game, intelligent report, was trust his fastball. Well, that's not the case tonight.
And that will be it. So the Orioles are going to have to go to the bullpen here in the 3rd inning in a disastrous start for the 27-year-old right-hander who will work 2 2/3 innings, charged with the, so far, 7 runs on 7 hits, a wild pitch, and 3 hit batters, and responsible for the 3 Rays on base. And this is 4th start of the season. Andy's responsible for the 3 on base, and Matt Lidstrom will come out of the bullpen now to try and quiet things down, and Gonzalez will sit and watch and think about what happened in the time that he worked.
So Matt Lindstrom over the weekend in Cleveland, Johnny Damon rocket off his kneecap right off the left knee, and the x-rays and showed no damage, so he's in a position where he has to throw strikes, bases loaded.
And Upton up, and Upton takes the first pitch to center field. Jones is there, and he's got it for the out. 8 batters come to the plate in the inning, and another 2 runs are added, and it is a 7-1 Rays lead. To look forward to Miller time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Harry Thorne, Jim Palmer here at Camden Yards, and the Orioles, losers last night 3-1 to Tampa Bay, falling behind the Rays in the season series 3-4. Now trailing this one 7-1 with David Price on the mound. He'll face Tollison, Markakis, and Hardy as we go to the 3rd inning.
Yeah, they get the 1 run off him, but again, he's just really been on a roll. He's won 5 in a row. And again, 6-1 with an ERA of a little over 3 runs a game in his last road starts, even though he pitches much better down at the Trop, at least ERA. I mean, 3.44 on the year on the road, 2.03 in the Tropicana Park down in St. Petersburg has become a pitcher's park. Nobody knows why, but I think a lot of it has to do with the guys they keep throwing out there, but the runs at a premium down there.
Tollison's going to lead it off, starting in left field. Lifetime of 1 for 5 off Price. Price's delivery to him is in there for a strike. For Price, those first pitch strikes absolutely matter. When he gets ahead, batting average is 189 after a first strike. If he falls behind, it's 278. So a dramatic difference, as is true for most really good pitchers who take advantage of when they get it in their favor. And there are the first pitch strikes so far, 6 out of 9.
Yeah, he's done a much better job this year and throwing grounders. He came in 180 ground balls to 91 fly balls. Last year was about 56%. This year 66.
He's got career numbers all going in the right direction. That ground ball percentage is the highest he's ever had in his career, at least at this point. His ERA right now is the lowest that he's ever had at 2.64. And the same is true with his slugging and OPS numbers. Swung on and missed. Tollison becomes strikeout victim number 4 for Price.
And I think what's happened is it happens with all guys that are really talented. Again, the #1 guy in the country out of Vanderbilt is that he has more confidence in other pitches, and there's a perfect example. I mean, that is a really good curveball, and the fact that he got the 2 strikes makes it even better.
So Nick Markakis, top of the order coming up. You saw our Kia pitch tracks brought to you by Kia Motors. To learn more, visit kia.com. Price's delivery is inside. Nick with the 5-game hit streak that he continued with that single, scored the run on an RBI base hit by Hardy. Markakis now 9 out of 27 lifetime off Price. And will foul that one the other way. That'll even the count up 1 ball and 1 strike. Markakis, of course, we've talked about those numbers that just continue to climb since coming off the DL after the All-Star game, hitting over 350 in that leadoff spot. Only 1 RBI, but he's become the guy who gets on base for others to drive home rather than the number 3 hitter who's trying to get others to the plate. 1-1 delivery. Jammed him. Popped it to second base. Zobrist. 2 down, and our Masson Orioles Facebook page, the only place you can win a signed Adam Jones 2012 All-Star jersey. Log on to facebook.com/Masson Orioles. Enter now for your chance to win. Stay tuned. Orioles games all season long for more chances to win exclusive Masson prizes. And the pitch will be taken for his strike. Hardy a single and an RBI his first time up. Hardy 289 off the lefties, only 197 off right-handers this year, and it's those right-handers who have kept that batting average down to the 220 mark on the season. Here's the 1-1. Only 26 years old, 54 wins, 30 losses, a career record coming into this ball game. Now it's about maintaining control here when you've got a big lead. And the fastball again is going to be up and away. 3-1.
Yeah, go for a little stroll. So the last thing he wants to do is put anybody on base with a 7-1 lead.
Three-1 delivery, and that will be popped out of play.
And that's a great luxury when you can throw 96 to a really good fastball hitter, because you can get away with it. Fastball count. JJ knows it's coming, and he still couldn't quite get to it.
Oriole hitters watching him work here, and a ground ball towards the middle and another base hit. So Hardy's 2 for 2 in the ball game on the bouncer up the middle. Comes with 2 down here in the 3rd inning.
Well, you talked about it last night. They really put on a pronounced defensive shift with their shortstop. I think if I'm throwing 97, I'm going to have to move over a little bit. I'm not sure he's going to pull it like he, Hellickson throws what, 91, 92. Price is 95 to 98.
That affects.
Well, you could see the smile on JJ's face. He went right up the middle, and Zobrist was waiting last night.
He's got a 2 for 2 in the ball game. And now here's Adam Jones hit into a double play in his first time up. Adam comes in with the 3-game hit streak. Adam has hit 309 off the lefties with 6 home runs, 287 off righties with 17 home runs. Continues to be among the leaders. He's 9th in homers, 6th in runs, 6th in hits, 3rd in total bases, and 3rd in extra base hits. 1-0 count, short lead at first. Hardy's not going anywhere and steps back on the bag. Orioles have time, but those runs put across in the 3rd inning, 2 more on the home run by Roberts, really changed the complexion of the ball game from 5-1 to 7-1. Here's the 1-0 delivery. Jones towards the middle. That's a seeing eye base hit. Hit the glove of Elliott Johnson as he dove. He slowed it down but couldn't make the play, and the Orioles get 2 on with 2 out.
Yeah, I always thought it was a luxury sometimes to get this many runs, but for David Price it doesn't happen too often. And again, they play him pretty much straight away, so at least Elliott Johnson moves over. But he can't quite get to it. So you put yourself with one swing, you can be back in this ball game. Oriole manager Buck Showalter said what we'd like to have happen is keep the game close, which it's not, and hope that Price, who usually leaves after the 7th, may take our chances with the bullpen. Well, that's not going to happen, but you can still maybe club one.
48% of the runs off homers. Matt Wieters, a strikeout victim, his first time up. Matt has had only one hit now in his last 24 at bats. One of the reasons, with the day game coming up tomorrow as well, that he's not catching tonight and acting as the designated hitter for the Orioles. That home run wise, a dozen on the year. 2 on, 2 out. And a big swing and a miss throw to first, and that was close. Jones, with Pena playing behind him, taking that extra secondary lead, almost got caught.
Yeah, he's talking to Wayne Kirby, so the big lead, doesn't think anything happened, and then right there the swing and a miss, snap throw, and watch this. Watch him stop. Well, but watch him stop. He tags the bag because he's on the run, and then Adam hits the base. So there you go.
Ball got there in time.
That's one of those things you do in Little League. Or maybe Pony League, because they don't let you run in Little League. But
up and into him in a 1-ball 2-strike count.
That was deftly done by our all-star center fielder.
And he'll certainly say he intended to do that.
Well, I don't think he had any choice.
No. 1-ball 2-strike count on Wieters. May not be many of these moments in this ball game. And even with 2 down here, Orioles trying to take advantage of it. One ball, 2-strike count. Wieters will take it away.
Boy, that is some kind of pitch right there. 98 at the knees, but just a little outside.
Average fastball this year up there in the mid-90s, throwing harder than ever. They've clocked him as 95.5 for the average fastball.
Yeah, that's 2-seamers and 4-seamers. So
up about a mile an hour more than last year. 2-2 delivery, and got him. Play will be made to first base, and they get the out. No runs, couple of hits, no errors. 2 are left on base. We've completed 3 here at Camden Yards, and the Rays have the lead. Rays and O's, 2 of 11 teams in the American League with a record of 500 or better. 2 of 11. It is the latest in a season that this many American League teams have been 500 or better since 1991. You see the days spent above 500 with the Rangers and Orioles at the top, the Rays, Yankees, and Indians. And the pitch outside for a ball.
Well, the Rays are what, 35 and 39 without Evan Longoria, and like you said, maybe what, 4 or 5 a week get him back.
Yep.
Got to remember how good they were at the end of last season.
In the air by Zobrist, deep towards right center in the alley. Jones is there to put it away.
I mean, last year they won 91 games after starting out 0-6, 1-8. And they did it by going 17-10 and 18-10. And then the Red Sox did a full dose, going 7-20 in September. And all of a sudden they're back in the postseason for the third time in four seasons.
Tampa Bay going at it the other way this year. Started out pretty well, and then since June 11 they've gone 15-22, under 500, but all of a sudden their offense looks as though it's coming alive. Matt Lidstrom is on the mound, by the way. He threw that one pitch to get the final out in the third inning, now starting here in the fourth. Joyce has had a single and has struck out. He's got a 6-game hit streak. 1-0 delivery, off speed strike.
Yeah, a little splitter. Doesn't throw that pitch, but a good one. Yeah, for Matt Joyce, it's pretty much about after that first inning not getting hit in the helmet. Ball right behind his right ear. And it throws there. I mean, that's really just getting off the disabled list after missing 23 games. That could have certainly got him back on with a concussion.
Aaron Lindstrom's numbers on the season, 23rd appearance. If you're looking at the Orioles bullpen at the numbers here, and they've been so good. Darren O'Day has led them in wins. He's 5-0. Pedro Strop has the lowest ERA, 1.46. Most games, Jim Johnson with 43. Ayala's pitched the most innings at 47. And strikeout wise, 38 each recorded by Darren O'Day and Troy Patton. They are the leaders in those categories for the Orioles pen, which continues to be a very strong, necessary part of this team.
Yeah, Buck Showalter saying I'd still like to have one more lefty. You know, a guy that was really kind of like a Clay Rapado was last year.
And he walked him.
Or at least Clay Rapado was in September when they could expand the rosters.
1 on and 1 out. On Sunday, September 9, Orioles Reach is going to team up with the Oriole Advocates for the 2012 Cardboard to Leather Collection here at the ballpark. All fans, we hope you'll bring unwanted baseball equipment to the O's Yankee 135 game, and cash donations can also be made. You can go to OriolesReach.com for more info, but mark it down. That's on September 9. Keppinger drew a walk and scored in the first inning, grounded out his second time up. 5 runs, 4 hits in the first inning off the start of Miguel Gonzalez, who lasted only 2 2/3. Gave up 7 runs, 7 hits, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Jennings led the ball game off with a home run on the first pitch, and it went downhill. Runner going, hit and run was on, and that will be fouled away by Keppinger. RBIs in the ball game. You've got Jennings, Pena, Roberts with a 2 RBI homer, RBI Lobaton, and a 2 RBI bases loaded single by Elliott Johnson. Orioles got a run back on a hearty single in the first inning. 7-1. And the 0-2 will be outside. Ball and 2 strikes with Joyce on at first base.
Yeah, another guy with 82 steals coming in, and they will run you out of the ballpark. Obviously not a running situation here.
That was a wind-up throw over there to first base. Lidstrom went in a full wind-up and delivered it over.
Not a real big lead for Matt Joyce.
1-2 delivery on the way. Punch shot, second base. Antonietta Hardy over to Reynolds. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Beterbiev, Reynolds, and Teagarden coming up for the O's. Last and next to last with runners in scoring position numbers. You see what's happened with all these strikeouts these teams have piled up. The strikeouts with runners in scoring position, look how high that is for the Rays. With runners in scoring position and 2 out, they are first in that department. Runner in scoring position less than 2 out, they're first in that department in strikeouts. And percentage of swings that are missed, they're first in that. Kind of amazing. I mean, the Orioles haven't done very well either, but for Joe Maddon's team to be 50-47 with those kind of numbers.
Well, they pitch.
Yeah.
And, you know, they've been 3 of the last 4 years, they've been in the number 2 spot, which is exactly where they are. So make it 4 out of 5. That's the one constant for the Rays. And they've lost Jeff Demon. You know, Hellickson was out for 2 weeks. So they've lost some of their guys, but and they will eventually get them back. But the constant is if they get Longoria back, all of a sudden they're 11th in runs scored or 10th, somewhere in that, you know, right with the Orioles 10th and 11th. That number should improve.
Which team, I'm not asking you because you know, which team has the best ERA in the American League? Just let fans, I would not have said this without looking at the stats today. Line to short. Johnson hauls it in. Betemit is retired. 1 away here in the 4th inning. Tampa Bay has the 2nd best ERA, and the best ERA in the American League belongs to Oakland.
And they traded Gio Gonzalez.
They traded the whole staff.
Trevor Cahill. All the guys.
All of them.
Yeah.
They traded almost their entire innings pitched by starters.
But they did get Timmy Malone, a left-hander who's pitched very well, and they also got Jared Parker in the Cahill deal. So, and they will be coming to town.
They'll be in for the series after the Rays. And they too, like the Rays, definitely doing the wins with pitches and home runs. They are 14th in average, Oakland is, but they've been able to score via the homer. They are 8th in the American League in that department, and they've got 10 runs on the board tonight in 3 innings.
Because that's where the Rays go. They go out to Anaheim, and then they go up to Oakland. The Orioles will not see Oakland on the road till late in the year. In the middle of September, yeah.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Fouled off. A ball club that's not drawing anybody. A ball club that's trying desperately to move, but is in a fight with the Giants over territorial rights. And here's Oakland right in the mix again. And Billy Beane talking this week saying, I'm going for it. Said, you don't get these chances very often. I'm going to try and cut deals. I'm going to help this ball club to win right now. 1-2 delivery to Reynolds, and sounded like he broke the bat. Reynolds had a single his first time up, stands in with 1 down and nobody on.
Of course, they will be, as most general managers will tell you, prudent deals. Long term, instant gratification if you can pull it off.
Good luck.
And again, it really depends what you have in your minor leagues, or what you have in your major league roster that is attractive.
That ball up in the air off the fists. And Jennings is there to put it away. And there are 2 down. Let's take a look at this date in baseball history. 1941, Lefty Grove earned his 300th major league victory. And it was in 1966 that Ted Williams was inducted into the Major League Hall of Fame. A couple of notes on each of those. Lefty Grove getting that victory joined the only 300 winners: Cy Young, Walter Johnson, Christy Matheson, Grover Cleveland, Alexander, and Eddie Plank at the time were the only ones who had won 300. And Ted Williams, at the speech he gave at the Hall of Fame, made a strong appeal to include Negro League stars into Cooperstown. And that has been an ongoing discussion, and at least resulted in the Hall of Fame with a lot of recognition for the Negro Leagues and their players.
As it should be.
1 ball, 1 strike count. And the ball put up in the air to right field near the line, and there'll be no play. Joyce disappearing to us. You get over in that corner, we can't see him. He just went all the way over and ran into the corner. Didn't go out the door, though. Amazing how few balls are actually hit down there that end up fair and then rattling around over there by that big entryway door. This doesn't happen very often.
Well, it's one of the quirks. I'm trying to this ballpark's 20 years old when it was built. Kind of Oh, got him. We'll get back to that. But
we'll get back to that in a moment. Now we pause. A 1-2-3 inning. That's 6 strikeouts in the ball game for Price, who has the lead. AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Verizon Fios, introducing Verizon Fios Quantum Speed, internet twice as fast as anything America has ever seen. Rays trying to make it 2-0 in this 3-game set against the Orioles. They came in to this ball game against the Orioles hitting just .211. Not anymore. 7 runs, 7 hits for the Rays. The Orioles a run on 5 hits. Lidstrom on the mound to begin his second full inning of work. Carlos Pena will lead it off against him, and with a big uppercut will foul that one away. Orioles, as far as the trade market and all the great rumors fans love to talk about. Dodgers, of course, got Hanley Ramirez. That name had been mentioned when talking about possible Oriole moves, going from the Miami Marlins for a couple of pitchers. Deal taking place yesterday, so he's off the board.
Yeah, the Dodgers, of course, a up and down ball club. Amazing thing, other than Andre Ethier, who they signed long term, Matt Kemp, who they almost won the MVP last year. Those were the only 2 players on the Dodgers that had more than 7 home runs. So Ramirez with D. Gordon-Hurt's going to play shortstop. That'll make him happy if he wants to play, which is always a problem with him. I mean, he's a very temperamental guy, but he did win a batting title.
Ramirez is not exactly someone untemperamental.
No, I meant Hanley.
No,
yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Well,
I meant it, yeah.
And of course, the last Ramirez they got was Manny.
Yes.
That worked well for about 2 months. Well, I mean, it did.
I know.
It was the end of the year.
Absolutely right. 2-1 delivery. Breaking ball is in there, and the count will go to 2-2.
But Hanley Ramirez is signed for the next 2 years, so they will control him. And the new owner, he said, listen, I don't mind spending money. Rather spend money and have a chance to win, and not spend money and know we're going to lose. So,
and they're battling the Giants, 2.5 out of first place in the West. And Pena will take the pitch. Lidstrom's delivery will miss inside to him, and the count goes full.
Well, a lot of moves. Wandy Rodriguez goes from the Astros to Pittsburgh, who is surprising everybody in the National League.
They are right in it. That National League Central race, 2.5. Cincinnati ahead of the Pirates. Reds have won 6 in a row coming into today's play. 3-2 delivery, and that's foul ball. Teagarden tried to make it fair, but it did not roll.
Well, it just laid there. It was like it got tired. It expired right at home plate. But apparently in foul territory.
Now, we left off talking about the ballpark. You did not have time to complete your observation.
When they built Camden Yards, they try to modernize it, obviously, for the fans and the players and so forth, but make it quirky like a lot of the older ballparks. You know, Fenway, you have theirs down the left. They have the green monster, but then you have their little place to put the ground screw stuff, and same in center field. And then you had the short porch in Philadelphia, the old ballpark there. Never did play actually in a boys club league game up there when we used to play exhibition games. So of course Buck Showalter wonders, why do they have to make the walls so quirky and short? Really tough to pitch in this park. Great hitter's park though.
Yep. Don't have to get it very high to get it out, and almost all the way around till you get to the scoreboard in right field.
Yeah, that wall in center and left is 7 feet tall. So
line drives can go out. Here's Ryan Roberts. He can attest to that. First game since being acquired from the Diamondbacks. Hit by a pitch in the first inning, scored, and delivered a 2-run homer in the third inning. Pena's on at first base with a free pass. Pena ranked third in the league in walks. Gets a leadoff walk here in the top of the fifth inning.
Well, again, you get a guy with speed, with power, and you need all of that. And that's the way Tampa Bay plays. I mean, they interchange people. I mean, you really have to subjugate your ego if you're going to play for Joe Madden, because he's going to put you all over the place. You might be a shortstop one day, a second baseman the next, the right fielder. You might hit first, you might hit third. We saw Zobrist last night for what, hitting third. He bunted, sacrificed, and it worked. Got him an extra run.
Well, as Joe said tonight before the game, Roberts certainly fits our MO. You talk about playing positions. In 7 major league years, he's played 190 games at third, 103 at second, 36 in the outfield, and 1 game at shortstop. He's a career .250 hitter with 35 home runs, 134 RBIs in 7 major league seasons, or portions thereof. 1-2 delivery with the runner at first, fouled back into the screen.
Well, plus he airs it out for a little guy. We saw him when he first came up with Toronto. So you look at the track record, you look at the age, and you look at the fact that he did hit 19 home runs and he did hit a bunch of doubles. Now, he did play in Arizona, which is a good hitter's ballpark. And then you factor in your needs with Longoria out, and you like to think the hamstring's getting better, but you just never know.
Slow roller.
In fact, Joe Madden talking yesterday, the skipper of the Rays, saying that the last time Evan Longoria had the relapse with a hamstring, it was actually when he was in the dugout. He was trying to rehab it, and it just seized up. So, but they liked the way it looked, so that's why he's going, or is on his way now, to hopefully get back to the big leagues.
Pena with a lead at first base. Roberts' first home run with the Rays, obviously, in his first game. It is his 7th of the year. He had 6 with Arizona. Down low, Teagarden with a good stop, and will hold the runner at first base. Count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Lidstrom looks all right. We showed you the line drive in Cleveland that bounced off his leg. This is the first time he's made an appearance since then. He said yesterday, in fact, he felt he was 100% ready to go. As a measure of caution, they did not have him in the ball game last night. 2-2 delivery, came inside and missed with it, and a full count.
And meanwhile, Ryan Roberts has just kind of fouled off the good pitches to get again where they'll start the runner. Be very surprised if they don't start Pena.
Pena will be held by Reynolds. The Orioles cheating in the infield. Quintanilla towards second base. Runner not going, and the pitch is outside, and he walked him. So Lidstrom has walked 2 in a row here in the 5th inning, and 3 since coming on. Our PNC Minor League report brought to you by PNC for the achiever in you. Christian Walker, the first baseman. 9 games with Aberdeen, the short season A ball. Big numbers with the 33 at bats, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs on the season, 328 in 17 games. Christian Walker.
We'll be inquiring with that name about his on base percentage, won't we?
Yes. Lobatone outside for a ball.
Well, again, that's the one thing when you look at this ball club. They walked 5 times. They walked twice here. And again, they weren't just 4 pitch walks. They've earned them.
One hit batter, and one of those who has walked has scored. Kevin Gregg gets up in the bullpen, and
Yeah, he was in last night's game and pitched well for the Orioles. Inning in the third.
Rick Adair out to talk to Lidstrom. The Rays have really taken the stuffing out of this ball game with that 5-run first inning, and then in the third adding 2 more and jumping up to a 7-1 lead.
Yeah, as bad as Miguel Gonzalez was, he certainly didn't get helped out by the bad hop, because he would have been out of the inning, and we would have been, again, he really did not command to stuff it in any form or shape in that first, but he could have gotten out of there and made it at least a little bit closer, and I don't know what it would have resulted in, but again, 5 runs. In fact, we talked about it last night. Shen did that down in Tampa Bay. He gave up 5 runs and then was really good.
And that one is blasted to right field. Just a question of how far. Way back, and goodbye home run. What a start for this ball club here on this road trip. Lobaton delivering the long ball. Both of the walks ahead of him score. Lobaton now has a 4 RBI ball game, and it is a 10-1 lead.
Well, again, are you going to get good pitches to hit? 93, it's down the middle. You have a guy struggling with his command, back-to-back walks, and there you go. That's the result. Great swing on that pitch. Very hittable.
That is his first home run. Number 1. And the big smile pretty much tells it all for him. Elliott Johnson, and he will take it for a strike.
Well, even last night, he struck out his first 3 times up, but did a great job behind the plate. If you're going to have a good pitching staff, you better have a guy that can receive the ball. You know, their backup catcher or our second catcher is Jose Molina, the veteran. He most likely will catch tomorrow.
Elliott Johnson has a single and a walk, 2 RBIs. Lidstrom with the 1-1 delivery and couldn't hold up on it. 1 around and a 1-ball 2-strike count. Well, the game just the opposite of last night. The close game, 3-1, where the Rays had only 6 hits in the ball game. They've got 10 runs on 8 hits in this one, and that one will be fouled away.
Well, this is a learning lesson for the Orioles, because you know, I look at Tampa Bay and I look at a club where I think if you're the Orioles, you want to model your team after them. It's based on pitching. It's based on playing grinded out baseball, which they've done the last 4 years.
1-2, foul tipped into the middle.
So Matt's able to get ahead and make a terrific pitch with his slider. I mean, this is the time. You talked about it last night, Gary, as we look at this breaking ball. It's a really good one, just right off the table. Buck Showalter saying this is where you really have to focus and you have to be in the moment. And the Rays have had more experience of doing that. And they know how tough when you play in Baltimore and then go to the West Coast. You better have everything in order.
So 1 down with 3 runs in the inning. Top of the order, Jennings. Home run hit by a pitch, and he is grounded out. 7th home run, 29 RBIs on the season. Lidstrom's 1-0 delivery to him to third base. Betamit. 2 down. And with 2 away, nobody on, that'll bring up Upton. B.J. Upton back in center field for this ball game. Last night was the designated hitter. Singled, scored in the first inning. 1 for 3 in the ball game. 1 for 7 so far in the series. Upton started out with a .301 average going to the end of May. And then it has dipped 57 points, hitting just .205 over the last 50 ball games. The 0-1 delivery to him. The waggle of the bat doesn't go after it. 0-2 count.
No, they like, as you mentioned, hitting him second, because you figure with Jennings, who's stolen 17 out of 18 times, to get fastballs to hit, but doesn't even get to the fastball sometimes. He was such a good fastball hitter when he came up.
Way outside with that heater by Lidstrom, 1 and 2. He's hitting only 120 against the Orioles this season. No home runs, does have a couple of RBIs against the O's. Upton, the 1-2 delivery to him, and that'll be outside. Lidstrom 2 balls and 2 strikes. For Lidstrom, he had not given up a home run in the 22 and the third innings he had pitched coming into this ball game. So Lobaton with that 3 RBI shots, the first off him. He will get the strikeout, but a 3-run homer and 3 more on the board is Major League first.
Got the 15-day DL and the 60-day DL with dates of when they come off the DL and where the corresponding moves are made. You know, Dan's got the same thing upstairs, so we're on the same page. And if he calls, there's a quick reference here. You know, the rostered players are darker color and the non-roster there. And as we've seen, we can take those white rostered guys and turn them over to yellow in a hurry. But it was supposed to be orange, but we didn't quite get the color right. You know, that with the options beside their names about, you know, who that we have some maneuverability with, and just to keep a grasp on it and understand the big picture. But, you know, Frederick and Delmarva over there, it's just nice to kind of see there. But I spend 90% of my time focused on the 25 guys, and then we kind of look at it as our continuation of our roster over in Norfolk, of where our options to go to are if we have an injury, which obviously we've had a bunch of them this year, like every team.
Well, there you go. And yeah. And the whole, I guess the whole part of the puzzle with Dan Duquette coming on is that you want to have, again, when you look at those orange, that's your 40-man roster, you have guys that you know are ready to play here at the major league level. And that will be the mission over the next couple of years.
Quintanilla is going to lead it off. David Price has walked no one. He has struck out 6. A 10-1 lead for the Rays. Quintanilla has struck out most of the Rays. Well, they've already had, all of them have had at least 3 plate appearances, some 4. The Orioles are just going through the lineup for the second time. Quintanilla, Tolleson, and then Marquez. And that'll be fouled off at a 1-ball, 1-strike count. More bad news for Toronto, if that's possible. J.P. Arencibius fractured his right hand and is going to be out for 6 weeks. He was their hottest hitter.
Yeah, we had that little blurb last night how hot he was, and
that could be a base hit. No play. A shattered bat. Quintanilla gets an infield single to lead off the 5th.
Well, you'll take it. I mean, a jam shot right off the fist. I mean, he hits it up by his hands. You know, like a little 60-degree wedge. And David Price said, I wish I was about 2 or 3 inches taller. I might have caught that. And Pena's saying, well, I got the bad hop single. That led to a 5-run first inning.
We're talking about that. If that ball had been an out, it would have been the 3rd out in the first inning. The ball off Pena that took the bad hop on Quintanilla. There were 3 RBIs after that.
Oh no!
In the inning. So
I mean, we don't want anybody watching that say that Miguel Gonzalez had command of his stuff today, because he didn't. But But a lot of times, and you go back early on in the last road trip, Chris Tillman really struggling. They don't catch a ball, and you lose 19-7. And it was a pretty routine play. If you make it, changes everything around. Gives up 7 runs, 6 unearned.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's just those things happen. But, Miguel Gonzalez, he's a stand-up guy. He's going to tell you, I did not. No. Mike Quarius just had nothing. And and he tried, and you could see him. I've been out there where some nights you just don't know where your release point is. And, you're hoping that you can establish a second, third, or fourth pitch, and he had trouble doing that. I saw one of the scouts. He said, do you like Gonzalez? I said, I want to go see him tomorrow. I was wrong. Because that's not the real guy we've seen.
1-1 delivery on the way, and the breaking ball is in for a strike. Tollison, a strikeout victim. 7 runs, 7 hits, 2 2/3 for Gonzalez, the Orioles starter. And now Price working his way along in this one. He's thrown 62 pitches so far. Quintanilla at first, Pena playing behind him. Nobody out. Tollison will take the pitch, and that will be down low. And a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Price has had 1 complete game on the year. He has pitched a complete game shutout. You look at his lines, though, and it's 7 inning after 7 inning after 7 inning.
Yeah, the last 6 ball games.
Yep.
2 earned runs or less. And
he shut out the Angels early in the year on a 9-inning 5-hitter. In start number 4, that's the complete game shutout he has.
Yeah, I sense that he does not like to give up runs. I mean, not only is he very talented, but he seems to be very competitive. And then again with his staff, and there's his pitching coach, Jim Hickey, I think, and he certainly played with some great staffs. You want them all to do well. You just want to do a little bit better.
That's going to go to second base. Zobrist has got it. There's one. Relay to first. Not in time. Quintanilla is taken out on the force. Fielder's choice. 1 down. Tune in to the Mid-Atlantic Sports Report tomorrow, 5 to 7. Tom Davis, Mel Lanton, and Phil Wood, Dave Johnson. They'll have continued post-game coverage of the Orioles series finale. That's going to be a 12:35 game. And Theo Harris will be along to take a look at Chris Tillman and Zach Britton's return to the Orioles, all coming up. Mid-Atlantic Sports Report tomorrow at 5. There is Zach.
Tillman's going to pitch tomorrow. Chris is going out there against James Shields.
Britton's going to get the start in the opener against Jared Parker in the Oakland series. Tommy Hunter against Bartolo Colon. Colon's on the trading block. And Wei-Yin Chen and Travis Blackley will make the start on the 29th in Game 3.
Seeing a lot of good pitching. I talked to one of my friends who advanced Scott. He said, boy, do I ever like Jared Parker. Power curveball. Throws very, very hard. And again, getting a chance to pitch in the big leagues.
Nick Markakis, disbelieving the called strike, turns to ask Scott Berry.
Well, the base hit the left the first time, and then he got in on his fist, popped him up. So now you got to cover in and out, up and down, soft and hard. Very difficult.
Runner off first base with 1 away. The Orioles, we thought, would see some first swings on the fastball delivered by Price. There have been only 3 first pitch swings in the ball game by the Oriole hitters. Jim Presley talking about it before the game. The guy like Price throwing in the mid-90s, and that's his effective pitch. You go up hoping to get one of those to hit.
Well,
foul back.
You stay close, Gary, and that's what Buck Showalter, the Orioles manager, was talking about. You can steal some bases against Price, especially Lobaton. He's only thrown out 2 out of 20 behind the plate. And so if you would have been able to, which is obviously not the case when you're down by 9 here in the 5th, all of a sudden you think you're going to have a chance to win, and that's what you try to do as a starting pitcher against a guy like David Price.
1-2 delivery on the way to the hole. Backhanded. Johnson, nice play. Zobrist there to get it, and another fielder's choice. That one's going to take Tollison out. Not an easy play.
No.
Johnson to Zobrist. 2 down.
Yeah, he makes a very, very quick throw, and Zobrist, who's a big guy, able to get it before it goes into right field. A nice range to get there.
2 down. Here's Hardy. 2 singles in the ball game for Hardy. Now 6 out of 20 lifetime off Price. So Hardy, another multi-hit ball game, be his 23rd of the year. He's had 5 3-hit ball games, and that is in there for a strike. Markakis at first base, and they're not going to hold him with this 10-1 lead. Foul back off the catcher. Lobaton's taking a couple off the mask here during this half inning. And a 2-strike count from Price. Price, after his league leading 14th win of the year, trying to make it 6 in a row. And 2-0 against the Orioles this year.
Yeah, kind of an interesting note, Gary, where they've never ever had a Ray pitcher after the first month, April, lead the major leagues in wins. And if he does it tonight, he will do that.
Well, he certainly is going to be, if this continues, a Cy Young candidate. As we said, he's going to have a dozen starts probably remaining. It is his 20th.
But he was second back a couple of years ago when he was 19-6. CC Sabathia won that year, the Yankee left-hander.
1 ball, 2-strike count on Hardy. Markakis off first base. Hardy will take it, and that's that. 7 strikeouts in the ball game for Price. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. A 10-1 Rays lead.
Lights. Great start for the Rays. Desmond Jennings, first pitch of the game, solo shot. They would score 5 runs on 4 hits in the first. J.J. Hardy, after Nick Markakis singles, he'll get the run in. Then Ryan Roberts, first game for the Rays, coming over from the Diamondbacks, 2-run shot, and then Jose Lobaton, first major league home run, couple of walks, 3-run shot, makes it 10-1. So Gonzalez struggles, a little bit unlucky in the first. Lobaton with his first home run, and then Roberts, welcome to the Rays. David Price, the beneficiary, as Kevin Gregg comes on for the 2nd consecutive night to pitch for the Orioles. So the numbers have come down. Struggled in April and has pitched extremely well since then.
So Gregg will come on for Lidstrom, who worked 2 1/3 innings. Lidstrom, unusual line. He gave up only 1 hit but 3 runs, a 3-run homer. Lobaton's major league first. So Lidstrom 2 1/3. He had 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. Fold is going to pinch hit. Sam Fold made his return last night. So Madden here in the 6th innings decided to rest some of his starters. He probably will appear tomorrow, in this case Ben Zobrist. So Fold is hitting in the number 3 spot. He had a big return. He's another guy that sparks this ball club with his style of play. Came off the DL, ended up with a walk, a run scored, a single, a stolen base in the ball game last night. Officially 1 for 3, and he's got a base hit here to lead off the 6th inning. Leadoff single. O's Extra postgame tune-in brought to you by PNC Bank for the Achiever in you. Jim and Rick will be standing by to take a look at this ball game. We'll hear Buck talk about it in his press conference and player interviews all coming up. Leadoff single. That will bring Joyce to the plate. He has struck out, singled, and walked. Jennings a home run, solo shot, first pitch of the ball game. Lobaton with a home run in the 5th inning. Bases loaded single. Johnson 2 RBIs. Lobaton's got a 4 RBI game going. This is a career ball game for the catcher. 1-0 delivery on the way, and that's taken down low. Matt Joyce.
And not a lot of velocity from Kevin Gregg last night, but he was able to pitch a scoreless inning in the 3rd. And a lot of movement, and he's not getting the pitches. I mean, the first pitch was right down the middle to Joyce. He called that a ball right there. That was a little cutter that looked like it was knee high in the middle of the plate, and the count's 3-0.
Joyce will walk on 4 straight pitches. That's 6 walks surrendered by the 3 Oriole pitches in the ball game. And the Rays have runners on at first and second base with nobody out for Keppinger. 3 out of 6 with runners in scoring position. Tampa Bay picking their numbers up in that department tonight. Now they get another chance as for Buck Showalter. It's been just to sit back and watch. After that 5-run first inning, the Orioles have had little go right, with Price shutting him down, a run on 6 hits. 2 on here. Fold with good speed at second, got a force at third. Benameet 1 running throw to first, 1 hopper. Nice play. Reynolds able to take that on the other side of the bag, yet keep that foot on, and they turn 2.
Yeah, Jeff Keppinger chases a ball well inside, and when he does, he gets jammed. I mean, it's almost inside. Nice play by Wilson Benameet. Has to do it on the run, and then the throw beats him enough where Mark Reynolds can catch it in foul territory and get out of harm's way. Keppinger thundering.
Pretty good combination right there. Benameet and Reynolds. Tough play. 2 down, runner at second base. Joyce goes down to second. Here's Pena. He's drawn a walk and scored. Had an RBI single in the first inning, officially 1 for 2. And the pitch is in there for a strike to him. Pena has gone 1 for 6 against Kevin Gregg in his career, and that hit was a home run. 0-1 count. Pop up third base. Benameet. He's got it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. Bottom of the 6th coming at Camden Yards. 10-1 Rays. Come.
So let's see. That's 2010. The magic wand comes out after Buck Showalter takes over. Look at it. All of a sudden, they started hitting with runners in scoring position. The worst ERA in baseball all of a sudden goes down, well over a run and a half. Brian Mattis turns out to being a guy that had lost 8 in a row to going 7-1. Adam Jones puts on, 40-some points on his batting average? The big question. I mean, look at, they're 41 games under 500. They come in tonight, 5 over. Can they do it again? Can they tweak it? Whatever it takes to be a game in. And again, they won 17 games in each of the last 2 months.
We will find out.
Yeah, well, that's what this game is played about. And Sean Rodriguez will come in for defense at second base. So
Fold will stay in the ball game in left. Jennings and Zobrist out of there. A break for Madden with a 12:35 ball game tomorrow to get some of these starters out who will play tomorrow. David Price rolling along here, having surrendered just the 1 run on 6 hits, working in the bottom of the 6th inning. Price has not walked anybody. He has struck out 7. Adam Jones will lead it off. And Jones will take the pitch inside for a ball. Adam with a single. He's hit into a double play. Now has a 4-game hit streak. .1-0 delivery, and that's a strike to him.
Yeah, he has the ability. David Price, as you mentioned, not throwing as many fastballs. Even when he does, he has better velocity. But as the game progresses, this year he's been able to use all his pitches and do that very effectively. And then when you maybe thinking there'll be another breaking ball, he just ramps it back up to 95.
We know Tom, one of the great security people who works here at the ballpark down by the dugouts. He worked here today, then went home to celebrate his birthday. He's 28 for the 4th time. Happy birthday, Tom. We'll see you tomorrow. Ball put up in the air to center field. Upton. And he's got it. And Jones is retired. 1 away. Orioles Legends Celebration Series returns on Saturday, August 11. Eddie Murray will be honored with a larger-than-life bronze sculpture in the new center field picnic area. The gates open at 5. The ceremony's 5:15. All fans attending get the replica Eddie Murray sculpture. So help us honor Eddie. That's going to be on Saturday, August 11. Gates at 5. Ceremony at 5:15.
Kansas City Royals are in that weekend.
Team that has had its peaks and valleys on the year.
Well, they got the Guff now. Jeremy Guthrie traded from Colorado to Kansas City.
Back in the American League.
Out of Colorado. That was not a good experience, as I can imagine. I did a game. I went right after the strike in '95. We had, what did they call it? We shared telecast with NBC, ABC, and all that. So we did a baseball network game or whatever. So we go to the Friday night game. We're going to do one on Saturday night, and they have a rain delay. But what's his name? Gonzalez with 56 home runs. He hits a pop fly to left. It goes about 25 rows. That was the first fly ball I saw up in Colorado. 26-9. It ended.
Good ball game.
Oh, it was great.
2-1 delivery misses.
But it's before where you can use your cell phone and your computer and all that. So I'm looking for the score the next day because the game didn't end until 2:30, and it's mixed in with the college football and the NFL. I mean, it got really lost.
Oh,
yeah. Well, again, better pay attention with this guy throwing.
Line drive into the seats. Fortunately, somehow that found an empty seat. Wow.
And there's not that many empty seats either.
No. 3-ball, 2-strike count on Wieters. Wieters has struck out twice. Puts the ball in the air to right field. Joyce. 2 down. 2 away, bottom half of the 6th inning. Just like we promised earlier in the ball game, it's Miller time. Brought to you by Miller Lite.
Well, Gary, for a lot of those years, you had a chance to do the Met games and Dwight Gooden. I'm trying to think. I mean, this is a left-handed version where you have, looks like you have maybe decent swings, and it's hard to center the stuff from David Price.
Everything moves.
Yeah, exactly. And, great velocity as Doc had. Of course, he had the great curveball to go with it. And they were both, I mean, David a little bit taller than Dwight Gooden. But it just, and the interesting thing, one year with Gooden, they steal 45 out of 46 bases, and he was still 24-4.
Well, it didn't matter. He never even looked at runners on base because it didn't matter. He was going to strike out the next three guys up anyway. So go ahead and run if you want to. You'll be left out on the base paths somewhere.
I thought he had, about 1.65 ERA. I mean, one of those Ron Guidry years when he went 25-3.
We had a great I thought it was a great discussion with up at the Hall of Fame, sitting out there on the back porch at the Otesaga day's end. Paul Beeston, Jerry Reinsdorf, GMs, owners, sat out there having cigars with him, and Paul loves to ask all kinds of esoteric baseball questions. Swung on and missed. The one he asked is, who would you pay to come see a game play at the major league level? Pitcher, hitter, whatever. Who would get you to buy a ticket? Double play pulled right here. Bettamy tagging the bag, and then the throw to first. A one hopper that Reynolds had to handle in foul territory. Was able to get it done, and they turned two. That came in the last half inning with the Rays up. All right, so there's no right answer to that.
No.
It's just, but who would get you to buy a ticket because you want to go watch them play?
Well, again, as we look at Luis Ayala is going to get loose. I think, if you go back to yours.
Well, how about now?
Oh, now.
How
okay.
About now? That was Paul's question.
No,
now.
Now.
Who's playing now? And the reason I thought of that was because Doc Gooden, when Doc was pitching in New York in those early years, the difference in attendance on the days he pitched was 10,000. Which is an enormous number of tickets sold, but it was consistent. When Doc pitched, the number went up 10,000.
And all the people came with the K's.
The other K's to line up, and he put on a show.
Right now, if I was an Angel fan, I'd be showing up to watch Mike Trout.
Okay.
And it looks like he can do something different, and 20-year older.
Yep.
And again, obviously, if you were a Giant fan, it would be Willie Mays. Koufax, if you were a Dodger fan, when he was going to pitch. I bet the attendance was well up then, even though they always seem to have great attendance.
It's an interesting question. Yeah. I mean, one owners and GMs are very interested in because it sells tickets. But it's kind of interesting. It's not as easy to come up with the Williams and the Mays and the Mantles and those kinds of guys who played all during the same era. To find players right now, maybe it's because we see them all the time repeatedly, day in, day out. every play repeated 19 times in replay. So maybe the idea of going to the ballpark to see them kind of disappears. I don't know.
Yeah, one of those guys, an impact player, and you talked about Dwight Gooden. I still remember in 1971 when Vita Blue was MVP and Cy Young Award winner. Had 24,000 walk-up people on night he pitched here in Baltimore.
Amazing.
And wait, the game got rained out.
Oh, does that hurt? Andy Chavez is playing center field. Adam Jones out of the ball game. Nick Markakis out of the ball game in right, and Ryan Flaherty.
It might have saved me a loss because I was pitching against him.
The only time you wanted rain.
Yeah.
That's fouled off. Ayala on, working for Kevin Gregg. Gregg came on for an inning and gave up a walk, 1 hit. I thought it was good. You look at the leaderboard and you say, are there guys on the leaderboard who would get you out to buy a ticket? Trout, Konerko, Mauer, Hamilton,
Cabrera. Miguel Cabrera, year in and year out.
I mean, those are, for the Yankees, Granderson, Cano, Jeter. Would you still buy a ticket to see Jeter play a ball game? 3-ball, 2-strike count.
Yeah, I think we do get to see things. I was watching the highlights, and I watched Prince Fielder run across the diamond last night to tag out a runner on a rundown at third base. The first, and now that's heads-up baseball.
Ryan Roberts, and he'll foul it off. What an introduction to his new ball club Roberts has had. He's been up 3 times on all 3. Once hit by a pitch, once with a walk, and then a home run in the 3rd inning, good for 2 RBIs. So he scored all 3 times.
Well, he's talking to himself, and whatever he's telling himself, it's working.
It's working. 3-2 delivery. Off-speed pitch. Ayala got it in there and gets it.
Yeah, just changing speeds. Even though it's not a great slider, the spin, the movement. I mean, to hanging slider, he's trying to wait, time it.
You see, when we talk about the use of the bullpen, the innings pitched 2011, the innings pitched 2012, Ayala, O'Day are going to go over it.
Well, they really are, and O'Day hurt last year. Ayala had a terrific year with the Yankees.
That's a base hit. So the catcher's having himself a night to remember. Lobaton, who has been on base with 2 singles, a homer, and been hit by a pitch 4 times up, 4 times on, 4 RBIs.
After the hat trick last night, striking out his first 3 times up. What a game. What a country.
Baseball been very, very good to me.
That's like when you double bogey, birdie. Love this game. Love it.
I'm coming back.
Exactly. That's all it takes.
Here's Elliott Johnson. He has single, walked, and struck out in the ball game. That'll be 10 runs on 10 hits now for the Rays. A run on the 6 hits for the Orioles. All Tampa Bay in every aspect of the ball game tonight.
Well, even last night, as you mentioned, the close game, the Orioles losing 3-1 from the consecutive nights.
Oh,
yeah, that's why they put the netting up.
Pena, he was standing right there when that ball came and hit that wire. He was leaning over the railing watching the ball game.
In the old days, they didn't have that.
And an 0-2 count on Elliott Johnson, and Pena will determine where to sit and not stand.
Well, yeah,
and there he goes.
Yeah, right behind the manager. And Dave Martinez, the bench coach.
Everybody's moved.
Or either that or bring your glove to the bench.
And swung on and missed. Johnson goes down swinging. Ayala gets a couple of strikeouts, 2 down. Show off your Birdline pride. Support the many Orioles Reach charitable efforts by ordering the new official Orioles Maryland license plate. The new cartoon bird is on it. Great way to show your support for the Orioles Charitable Foundation. Go to Orioles.com/plates for more information and to reserve yours. 2 down, nobody on. Here's Sean Rodriguez. This will be the first at bat for Rodriguez. He's hitting in the leadoff spot for Jennings, who led the ball game off with a home run on the first pitch thrown in the game. Jennings had a 1-for-3 and was on again, hit by a pitch. Now Rodriguez gets the chance. Runner on at first base, 2 down. That ball is going to go to short, and a nice running catch made by Hardy. 7th inning stretch time brought to you by Jack Daniels Tennessee Honey. Fly straight. Drink responsibly. Here's your line as the fans stretch it out here. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer, not the way certainly the Orioles had planned it. A big 5-run first inning by the Rays kicks it off. Boy, for the Rays, a chance to take the first 2 here. When you got a tough road stand, you got 9 on the road coming. You love to get a game like this somewhere in it.
Well, yeah, these are very important games for them because they're going to go out to the West Coast. And for the Orioles, Adam Jones said it so. He said, we know what it's like to face Hellickson because he pitches well last year's Rookie of the Year. You think they're not aware that David Price, along with 2 other guys, was leading in major leagues in wins with 13, trying to be the first guy to win 14 this year. And they know that James Shield tomorrow had a terrific year last year, maybe not quite as good this year. So you have your work cut out, and then when your starting pitcher, after having 7 great starts in a row, Miguel Gonzalez, he gets a bad break, does not pitch well at all, and all of a sudden you're out of the ball game before it really starts.
And we noted at the top in the open what the Orioles had was the great starting pitching, but didn't have the offense to go with it. So tonight neither happens. They don't get the good start. The offense has not been there either, and just trying to pull all this together now to get some W's.
Yeah, you know, you try to write it up. Buck Showalter says, who manages the Orioles, said, hey, let's stay close and hope we can beat their bullpen. That's not going to be the case tonight.
It is a beautiful evening here and a better one for Price. No walks and 8 strikeouts in the ball game, and only 88 pitches thrown as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Mark Reynolds will lead it off. He has singled and flied out. 3 for 19 with a couple of home runs off Price, and the pitch will be taken up high for a ball. Conrad, who had the big home run in the ball game last night, has come on to play at third base with Roberts out of there. That's what happens. Conrad gets a home run, 2 RBI shot last night, doesn't start tonight. So Roberts, first time with the ball club, gets a 2-run homer, scores 3 times, and comes out of the ball game. Just rewards. 1-1 delivery. Of course, all of this about getting some guys out who are going to have to play in the day game tomorrow.
Exactly, and again, there's Roberts. Conrad last night was 3 for 27, and they were down 1-0, and he hits a 2-run home run, and that was the winning blow. Big swing right there. It's just, again, it's hard to center it.
Foul back into the seats, and Reynolds has a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
I'm not really sure there is. I can think of anybody that has better stuff than David Price. When the ability to, again, a big tall guy that throws downhill, arms and legs and sliders and sinkers and changeups and curveballs and great velocity and great command both sides of the plate. I just don't know if he's not the best pitcher in baseball.
Ground ball towards short. And the play made by Elliott Johnson. Reynolds is retired. 1 away, 7th inning. Follow the Orioles with MLB.com at Bat 12 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, BlackBerry, and Windows Mobile. Live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at Bat 31826 to go to Orioles.com. Adam Jones out of the ball game. Jones had a 1 for 3. Andy Chavez came on to play in his stead. Taylor Teagarden. Teagarden has grounded out and struck out, and Price will get the pitch in. Tampa Bay perhaps not done in setting their roster. ESPN.com was reporting today that the pitcher the Orioles are going to see tomorrow night may very well be on the block, James Shields. And the Angels interested for Peter Borges, fine young outfielder, and Hank Conger, a catcher. The Rays are probably not going to sign B.J. Upton, who's going to be a free agent. So if they could pick up as the outfielder Peter Borges, then he would take Upton's place, and they would get a good backup catcher in Hank Conger, and someone who could be a starter.
Yeah, Hank Conger hurt early, and he's switch hitting catcher, playing most of his games this year at AAA Salt Lake. And there's a nice little curveball. So that's why I don't know if there's anybody better than David Price. Not just because of the night, just because of it doesn't matter who he has faced lately.
9 strikeouts in the ball game. The Orioles continue an amazing pace of strikeouts that we talked about earlier. They knew they were going to get them, but I'm not sure they knew they were going to get quite as many as have come over the last dozen ball games. Strikeout wise, the career high is 14 for David Price. That was set against Toronto last year. He's had a dozen in a ball game against Oakland this year.
Well, David, he goes 10-7 in his first year. That was back in 2009, and I remember we opened the season, the Orioles, in 2010 in Tampa Bay, and he had changed his whole windup.
Shatters the bat. Price does not get off the mound and somehow gets over there. Wow. He really flew to get there, but he had a bad start. Part of that because the bat was going by him on the first base side as it shattered. Quintanilla is going to get his second hit.
And also he falls off towards third base, and he's trying to dodge the bat. And I don't think he touched the bag. He beats him to the bag. He just doesn't touch it.
I couldn't believe he got over there ahead of him, but he couldn't find the bag.
Well, that's what happens when you have long legs. He just couldn't get the stride down, and that was because he had to play dodge bat. A new form of dodgeball on rainy days when you're in grade school.
Dodge bat. Dangerous sport.
Yeah, well, it is.
Here is Tollefson 0 for 2 in the ball game. The Orioles get their 7th hit of the game. This is going to be pitch number 100 in the ball game for Price. And the breaking ball will miss down low. Tollefson has an 0 for 2, a strikeout and a fielder's choice.
And that is his slider. I mean, his changeup's right around 88, 89. That's gotten better because he had a tendency early on to slow his arm down. That's kind of gone. And there's the heater. And again, inside corner. Stayed away most of the night because of the early lead. Didn't have to pitch to both sides of the plate.
The Rays have gone 13-6 in the games that he started this year. Good number. Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way. And he, of course, has gone 13-4 in those ball games.
And then if he does not give up any more runs or anything less than 2, there's again his pitching coach and manager with a glass of Joe Madden. He will give up 3 runs or less in 17 of his 20 starts. Now that's really being consistent.
Very tight.
Well, there's 2 games. I mean, he looked 2 games. Once against the Mets, and where he struggled, and then he gave up 5 runs against the Yankees, and we know how easy that is. And those are the 2 games.
11 hits is high. That came in that Yankee game back on May 10. 3 ball, 1 strike count on Tollefson. Quintanilla off first base, and the pitch is in there for a strike on the inside corner. He's won the previous 2 starts that he's had, or previous wins here at Camden Yards. This is his 6th career start here. He is 2-0 with a 2.81 in this ballpark. And the ball club 4-1 in the 5 starts he's made here. Tollefson, 3 ball, 2 strike count. Runner going, swung on a miss. Double-digit strikeouts. That'll be 10-2 in this inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. 10-1 Rays. Series finale, Chris Tillman will take the mound against James Shields. Our coverage on MASN HD at 12. O's Extra presented by Jeep, followed by our game coverage at 12:30. All the access you need right here on MASN.
And there they are. Chris Tillman, the one bad outing where the fence let him down up in Minnesota, pitched well in Cleveland. Shields, again, not having as good a year as last year, which was a really special year for him, but great success against the Orioles. And we'll see. It's not going to be 106, but it'll be toasty here tomorrow.
Mid-90s is the expected temperature if the weather's right today. Flaherty's come in from right field to play second base. Quintanilla's moved over to shortstop, so Hardy out of the ball game, and Chris Davis comes in to play right field.
And Troy Patton, he comes in. You look at those glowing numbers.
B.J. Upton in the ball game. Ayala worked an inning and 1 hit and 2 strikeouts, and that's going to be a base hit. So Upton is on with his second hit of the ball game, a 2-for-5 night for Upton, and hit number 11 for the Rays in the ball game. That will bring Sam Fuld to the plate. Fuld has had 1 at bat, picked up a single in the 6th inning. Taking over for Zobrist off the DL yesterday, playing in his first game. And Fuld getting some more at bats here in this one. An ideal game for him to get a couple of at bats. That will be taken for a strike. A big 5-run first inning, 2 more in the 3rd, and the Rays were off and running. A 3-run homer by Lobaton, the catcher, his career first in the 5th inning, added to it. Goes to short. Quintanilla to Flaherty. Not in time. So they get the fielder's choice. And with 6 strikeouts tonight so far, Ronald, you have won a total of $1,100 from the Maryland Lottery. For your chance to be the Maryland Lottery contestant of the game, play Strike It Rich scratch-offs and enter your non-winning ticket codes at mdlottery.com/strikeitrich. And maybe more to come. Howell in the bullpen. 1 down, runner at first base. And the pitch on the inside corner to Matt Joyce. Joyce, a couple of walks, a single, and he is struck out. Single extended his hit streak to 6 games. Orioles not going to hold the runner here. Inside and high by Patton.
Yeah, that's nothing after the first inning when with 2 strikes the ball went right behind his right ear. You know, when you do that, it does, at least it, I never hit anybody in the 4,000 innings, never hit anybody in the head or the helmet. But when you get one up around the helmet, it does scare you because you want to pitch in, you just don't want to pitch in that zone. And every once in a while, it does, you know, the ball gets away from you.
Yep.
And that's what it looked like.
Here's the 2-1 delivery on the way, and the breaking ball catches the inside corner.
I mean, because as he gets in, you know, we let him settle into the batter's box. The fastball from Miguel Gonzalez, it almost hits the H behind him and the backstop. That's how far behind him. I mean, look right over his shoulder.
Joyce with a big cut and the strikeout victim for Patton. 2 down.
Yeah, really good breaking ball. Not as good as you can throw it. Starts it on the outside corner and just a little bit off it.
And that will bring up the mighty bat against lefties this year. Here comes Keppinger. Jeff Keppinger hitting .458 off left-handers and .324 overall.
Yeah, he got the first hit off of Wei Chen last night. A little ground ball in the left field.
Still does not qualify to be in the top 10 versus left-handers. Doesn't have a number of at-bats that he needs.
Yeah, I think the all-time leader was a guy, Jason Bartlett, former shortstop, back in like 2008, hit in the 370 range. Well, again, good scouting. You get a guy that, you know, is going to help you. You know, he can make contact. He can play around the infield.
0-2 delivery on the way to him, and that will miss inside by Patton. The Buck Showalter trying to string this out bullpen wise as Lidstrom worked 2 1/3. Gregg, Ayala an inning each. Now Patton on to work an inning. Keep the bullpen available for all of these guys to be able to go again if needed tomorrow. 1-2 delivery and just missed the inside corner with it. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Rays with a victory here will go up on the Orioles 5-3 in the season series, and they have the 10-1 lead batting in the 8th inning. 2-ball, 2-strike delivery. Off-speed pitch to second. That's got a lot of spin. Flaherty will make the toss over to first base. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. The Orioles will bat at the bottom of the 8th, down by 9. $50 to support the American Heart Association Heart Walk. To date, the Orioles have drawn 278 walks for a total of $13,900. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. So Price is out of the ball game. A chance to win his league leading 14th game as J.P. Howell comes on in relief.
Yeah, done a nice job for him, especially as of late. No runs in his last 13 outings. He gets lefties out, only 218, righties at 233. And there are the numbers we talked about. And then again, the other number that is very important, this bullpen, the 9th best in the American League, is a 3.33 ERA. Is how do you do with inherited runners? Only 3 of 18. Great job there. Very low number.
Orioles bat on the bottom of the 8th. For Price, 1 run, 7 hits, 7 innings. He did not walk a batter, and he struck out 10. The only run he gave up came in the first inning. RBI single by Hardy after he'd wild pitched Markakis into scoring position. Andy Chavez gets his first at bat. Will foul that one away. He's sitting in the leadoff spot, playing in center field.
And J.P. Howell, very much a contradiction to Jake McGee, the other lefty out of the bullpen, because McGee throws 95, 97. Howell's in the mid 80s, but great changeup, big curveball.
And the 0-1 delivery that will be taken outside. Chavez getting an at bat, trying to take advantage of it, and he faces Howell for the first time in his career. Jim Thome over there, who did not play in the ball game tonight with the left-hander going, foul back, and a 1-ball 2-strike count.
Yeah, Andy back off the disabled list with a hamstring problem. Had a nice little road trip in Cleveland. Home run, couple of doubles, triple. He'll be in there tomorrow. So will Adam Jones.
The Orioles will try and avoid a sweep by the Rays tomorrow. Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way, and he swept at that one. And the strikeout recorded by Howell. 1 away.
Well, there it is. David Price trying to make it 6 in a row. 7 where he goes at least 7 innings. If he wins tonight, he'll be won 7 out of his last 8 decisions on the road. So it really doesn't matter. So there you go. It's
pretty great.
Yeah, well, it is, and then the early cushion certainly doesn't hurt.
And the pitch is taken for a strike. Chris Davis at the plate. Davis getting his first at bat in the ball game as he's come on to play in right field. He has struck out the last 6 times he has been to the plate. And right now his batting average has dipped down to the lowest that it's been since April 13. Hitting at 256 on the year. And has to come on and face Howell. 1-1 delivery to him, jammed him, and that will be fouled off. And a 1-ball 2-strike count from Howell.
Yeah, probably going to be the best pitch you're going to get to hit unless he makes a mistake. Curveball that stayed on the inside part of the plate. Yeah, you look at David Price, and he's right up there with Weaver and Verlander. Jared Weaver of the Angels with 12 wins with the lowest ERA, 2.20.
Davis hitting .281 off left-handers, chops that one to second base. Rodriguez. And there are 2 away. Time to text in your vote for the AT&T player of the game. Hardy with a couple of base hits and an RBI. Lobato with a game to remember. 4 RBIs, including his career first home run, good for 3 of them. And Ryan Roberts, his first game on 3 times, 3 out of 4 scored, including his first home run with this ball club. Text in your vote, A, B, or C, 31826.
Yeah, you get to the time of the season, or at least you're getting to the time of the season where when you're in the pennant race, whether you're the Orioles or the Rays or, I mean, a multitude of teams, it's who can come to the ballpark and help you win that night. And I played on a club that won 26 out of 31 back in the 70s, and it was pitchers and hitters and defensive plays. And it's scintillating. I mean, it's nice to win by 15 games, but talk about heighten the senses of playing baseball at this level. When you're in the middle of the pennant race and you're playing well and you figure it out what you can do to help your team win.
Down to first base. Pena's got this one. Pitcher covers, and that'll be it. A 1-2-3 8th inning. Orioles are retired. We go to the 9th. Tampa Bay looking to win their 2nd. And a chance for a sweep tomorrow. Baseball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. And by Dodge. See your authorized Dodge dealer and experience a world of performance, design, and fuel efficiency. Schedule a test drive or go to Dodge.com and check out their powerful lineup. Baltimore night as the lights are on. The Rays have the 10-1 lead. We go to the 9th inning.
Yeah, lights on in Baltimore. Pedro Strop on the mound for the Orioles. He really had a terrific year, picked up from the Rangers last year. And again, a ground ball pitcher with great stuff. Every once in a while we'll have some command problems, but what an arm. You can see the lefties hit him better than the righties, and Again, because he throws about 72%, I believe, balls on the ground. Hard to elevate it. Only one home run on the season.
And the Rays bat here in the 9th inning with Carlos Pena. He has gone the distance in the ball game. A lot of the starters already out of there. Pena RBI single in the 1st inning, walked and scored in the 5th. 5 runs, 4 hits, 1st inning for Tampa Bay, and they've not looked back. Jennings led the ball game off with the first pitch home run. 1-0 count on Pena. Pena had 191 in the year. Zobrist came into the game 2nd in the league in walks, and Pena 3rd in walks and 2nd in strikeouts. And a swing and a miss on the pitch away.
Yeah, it appeared to be a strike till the bottom dropped out at 97. You know, he's the guy that gets him to Jim Johnson. Jim Johnson, the Orioles closer, with 30 saves.
Jimmy won't be working tonight.
Nope. It's been a little bit of a struggle for him. I mean, he's been getting the saves, but again, he was so good. Very rarely gave up a run the first 3.5 months of the year.
Patton worked an inning. He had a strikeout and a hit. Pena with a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Well, the Oriole bats are going to have to come to work tomorrow in the day game. 12:35 first pitch. 12 o'clock goes extra. 12:30 will be on with a ball game. And for the Orioles, it's going to be about trying to get 1 out of 3 here. They came off that road trip in great shape, but Tampa Bay won the close one last night 3-1, and they're going to put away a big win here, barring a miracle comeback. Pena waiting on it, and the pitch is down low, and he draws another walk. So he'll start the 9th inning with a free pass. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. 7 walks surrendered by Oriole pitchers in the ball game.
And they do it better than any other team in the American League.
That's how they get runners on and use the long ball. Ground ball towards the hole. Flaherty over, going to go to first, and he'll get the out. Pena will move up to second base.
Yeah, I think Ryan thought about getting the lead runner.
Brooks Conrad, that was his first at bat as he grounds out. Hop in the bullpen.
Yeah, Burke, the sinker baller, will get some work.
Lobaton, 4 RBI game, home run, 3 RBIs, hit by a pitch in the 1st inning for an RBI, 3 for 3 ball game and 4 plate appearances, and he's been on in all of them. A real great night for him. In the minor leagues, he had 53 home runs in some 570 plus ball games. Had not had a major league home run prior to the one he picked up in tonight's game. And the pitch is in there for a strike, and the count will go to 1-1. He's got another RBI chance with a runner on his second base. 1-1 delivery, foul back. Lidstrom, Gregg, Ayala, Patton, and Pedro Strop have been out of the bullpen. Gonzalez lasting only 2 2/3. And the pitcher of record for the Orioles with the 7 runs and 7 hits. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Fouled it off again the other way. That'll keep it at 1-2. So 2 managers seeing different sights and looking in different directions. Madden's team looking to pick up another win on the road. They are 22-22 on the road. That's going to skip away and hit him.
Yep, 4th time.
He's on.
Somebody's been hit tonight.
5 times up and 5 times on by the number 8 hitter. Runners at first and second with only one away.
Yeah, a little breaking ball. It's going to get his front foot. Tried to get it out of the way, but he also tried to get it down to hit. That one's got to give.
2 on, 1 out. Elliott Johnson. 2 RBIs with the bases loaded in the first inning on a single. Then walked and has struck out twice since.
And you can see Pedro Strop not used to pitching in 10-1 deficit games. And he's all over the place.
1-0 delivery. That's going to be caught. Chance for 2, and there it is. Betemit over to Flaherty. No runs, no hits, and no errors. We go to the bottom half of the 9th inning. Orioles trailing 10-1.
With us, we're coming right back with those extra post-game. Bottom of the 9th coming up. And Rick, just one of those nights. First inning, it was over. Tampa Bay with 5 in the first, as Miguel Gonzalez just didn't have it tonight.
And David Price with another outstanding game. It looks like he's going to be in line for his 14th win of the season, which will be leading the American League. Orioles again, 3rd game in a row, only 1 run right now.
So the Orioles coming up at the bottom of the 9th. We'll see how it ends. Let's head back upstairs to Gary and Jim.
And Jim and Rick will be standing by to take a look back and all the way back to the first inning when this ball game did get out of control. And the Orioles will bat in the bottom of the 9th here, down by a score of 10-1, and Badenhop's coming on to pitch.
Yeah, very good on the at home at the Trop, 188 on the road, close to 6 runs a game. That a lot of those runs early on since the start of May after struggling early in the first month. His ERA down there a little bit over 2 runs a game. So sinker baller, pitches to contact, but still able to get people out and strike them out with 30 strikeouts. And you can see lefties hitting him better, but the righties with the more long balls.
So Badenhop will be facing Wieters. The designated hitter tonight has had an 0 for 3. 10-11-0 for the Rays, 1-7-0 for the Orioles. Rays have left 8 on. The Orioles have left 5. And Wieters coming up. The Orioles staring a -3 in the face with a loss here in this ball game. And Wieters will take the pitch for a strike. The Rays will go into tomorrow's game looking for a sweep. They had one last year in a 3-game set in May. They swept the Orioles here in Baltimore. And the pitch taken, 1-1.
I think it was a day game, and I think Shields pitched.
It sure looks like Tampa Bay is going to have a chance to do that again, and Shields will be the starter in the ball game tomorrow. 1-1 delivery, a little breaking ball that catches the outside corner. Badenhop gets it to 1-2. A real disappointing game, and the numbers here at home continue to go bad. The Orioles with a loss here are going to be 23-24 at home, and they will have lost yet another one here. 9 out of the last 11, including this ball game. Now in those 11 ball games, the Orioles have been outscored at home 82-34. Not good numbers.
No.
Where you're supposed to make up some games.
Not at all.
2-2 delivery on the way, and Wieters goes down swinging. Let's update you on the voting for the AT&T player of the game. So far it looks like this. You still have time to text in your vote, A, B, or C, 31826. Results on the O's Extra postgame show. One down, ninth inning. Wilson Benameat coming up. Benameat has struck out twice and lined out. Howell worked his inning at a strikeout. That'll go to second base. Rodriguez, 2 down.
Yeah, Burke Badenhop, he comes over, and again, you get him. You talked about it last night. It seems like every year they kind of reinvent their bullpen. Starters stay the same. Great depth. Even Wade Davis, who last year won 12 games for him as a starter, he's their long man in the Rays bullpen. And then they go out and get Fernando Rodney, who's done a great job, 28 out of 29. Mr. Excitement. But that's not normal. He doesn't usually do what he did last night.
Not with them. He has in his past, though, put up those kind of numbers.
You mean walks?
Well, no, just making things interesting. But
he did.
He's getting the job done. Yeah. Tampa Bay finds somebody every year to fill in that role and put games away, and he's doing it for him this year.
And then the arrow, the quiver, whatever that was.
Cupid.
Was that it?
I don't know.
I love saves.
That's what it looked like.
I think I love saves. There you go.
There's a whole bumper sticker there. Put New York on it. 0-2 count on Reynolds. There he is.
Of course, he did make it exciting with a couple of walks, brought the winning run to the plate, and then proceeded to strike out Adam Jones and Matt Wieters.
And there it is, and yet another strikeout, and the Orioles go down 1-2-3. Price wins it. He's 14-4. Gonzalez, the loser, 2-2, 19,582 on hand, and the Orioles will have to get a win tomorrow to avoid a 3-game sweep. The series finale tomorrow will have Chris Tillman on the mound against James Shields. Coverage begins at 12 on Masson with O's Extra presented by Jeep, followed by game coverage at 12:30. For Jim Palmer and all of our crew here at Camden Yards, I'm Gary Thorne. Thanks, everybody. Final in this one, the Rays won at 10-1. This has been a Masson presentation. Jim and Rick, O's Extra. It's coming up right now. Adieu, adieu.